What's up, YouTube? Check it out, family. We are moments away from being able to get back in our bag and do what we do, as Monday is right around the corner, guys. So, hey, listen, this is our Sunday night video. Just a little preparation for what's to come this week, okay? Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. But listen, guys, make sure, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Help this video if you can. Get at least 2,000 likes. And get ready to put the smackdown on the market this week, okay? If you haven't joined us for weekly options, consider doing so. But even better than that, make sure you get in the Discord. Link for that is in the description below. With that being said, guys, check it out. Already we have the futures market already indicating to us that we are going to be down 200 points to start the market. So the market is crashing right now as we speak. So some of you, depending on what brokerage you got, you might not see nothing yet. So when you wake up in the morning, already expect the market to be crashed or down, or your stocks to be down, if that makes sense, okay? Check this out. Friday's route on Wall Street looks set to continue as Dow futures sink 200 points. So we were already down 1,000 points on Friday alone. That kind of stuff is very far few in between, unprecedented. That doesn't happen a lot. So that was major, okay? Now we're down another 200 points because the market is crashing right now. Remember, I told you guys there's a lot of activity that goes on when we are unable to be in the market. This is how we call it posture and positioning, okay? So some of you wonder why I never hold my plays overnight. Is because this kind of stuff. Think about if I had a call thinking there was going to be a reversal tomorrow, and then I'm already down 200 points. You can't come back from that. It's very hard to, unless something crazy happens, okay? However, this is futures, guys. Things can change when you go to sleep tonight. So again, see it for what it is, but I always tell everybody to rock with me. We check this in the morning when you wake up to see, have anything changed? Has anything happened overnight that may have make this go back up? Okay, or make it go down further. Okay, so don't solely go off of this, but be mindful so that you can start your trading plan for the week ahead. Okay, with that being said, stock futures fell on Sunday evening as investors tried to shake off a sharp decline in stocks at the end of the last week. Futures for the Dow slid 206 points, so that's about 0.6%. That's almost 1%. That's big for the Dow. That's big for any index. So you got to know what's considered huge in the stock market. Those for the S&P and the NASDAQ dropped 0.8% and 1% respect. So these are already at 1%. So again, expect blood in the streets when you get in the market tomorrow, okay? This is why you always want to just be strategic. You got to play chess, not checkers in this game, because of the way Wall Street plays, okay? The moves in futures come after a brutal sell-off on Wall Street on Friday when Fed Powell short and blunt remarks at Jackson Hole, okay? Guys, we already know that, man, and so what I want to prepare you for is what's to come. Now, check this out, guys. Here is the VIX. Make sure if you're going to be making money in the market, I always tell you guys about the SPY, because everything is largely tied to it. So if you can indicate what the SPY is doing, you get a very good feel for how your individual stocks will perform. Unless it's a penny stock or something like that, okay? But if it's a quality stock, you will see the SPY can impact it. If the SPY is going down, it can pull your stock down. That's why we cover it every single day. That's why I teach you guys the levels. But the VIX is also important. When the SPY is going down, the VIX is going up. So they go in reverse of each other. Remember, I told you guys the stock market will crash if the VIX hit 24. So when the VIX was at 19 and 20, we go down, okay? But when the VIX start creeping up higher and higher, then now you hit 24. What happened Friday? The VIX ended at 25.56. You guys saw the Dow go down 1,000 points. So check this in the morning, because if the VIX is 25, 26, or 27, then you already know the stock market is going down. No causation and correlation, guys, so that you know, okay, why would I do a call, for instance, if the VIX is up? Now, if the VIX comes down to 22 or 21, guys, you know you can do a call because your stocks will be going up, okay? So know the difference. It's a yin and a yang, and you need to know that, okay? So with that being said, guys, the VIX was up 17%. I always tell you guys, pay attention to what it will cause your stocks to move. That is news, that is short attacks, that's things and headlines that come out in the media. Those things all have an impact, in addition to earnings, in addition to what companies are reporting when it's earnings season. Okay, so you got a lot of factors that can dictate how your stocks go, but the VIX is something I want you guys to keep your eye out, because massive moves will continue to happen. I'm talking about drops. If this go to 30 or 34 or 40, it's an all-out blood bath. Okay, you just got to know that that's how the game go. Okay, they're trying to force capitulation at that point, then you will know the bottom is in. So watch these numbers. You don't have to even get off into it. Just let me peek at the VIX. Okay, this is your volatility index. Okay, if it comes down, you're gonna notice, okay, the market did decent today because the VIX was down. Down is 20 or below. Okay, or below 20 preferably, like 17, 18, 16. That's considered good, and the market is probably going up. If the VIX is up here above 24, you guys got to be risk off. Okay, understand that correlation. Okay, guys, and to close it out, I just wanted to put this on you. We got the SPY, ticker symbol SPY. I almost don't even want to call these numbers out. I already showed you guys that the market has crashed. So once these things update, you will see the SPY is already below 403.94 if it was to open right now, because the market has crashed 200 points. That is significant. That 1,000 stuff don't happen all the time, but 200, 400, stuff like that, that's a more commonality. Okay, so this is already probably sitting at $400 in real life, in real time. That remains to be seen what happens overnight, because it can pop back up, guys. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of people moving and grooving and willing and dealing right now with the market. Okay, so this is probably already at 400, which if you guys was rocking with me and they wasn't messing with the market, I would be saying, guys, SPY gonna go to 400 tomorrow. So when it pop up, buy a put, write it down to 400, get in and get out. Most likely it's already at that level. So what happens at that point when the market is already at the levels that I tell you plays will go to? You got a few options that will happen. Number one is that it may trade sideways at that level. So if it's at 400 or 399 or 398, you may see it just trade sideways in that range. We call that a premium burn, consolidation, okay, bar coding. We don't like to play those levels because that just eats up your money. You're not getting enough movement, okay? Or if we're gonna see more bullish response, it can hit these levels and then bounce back up to 408, 411, 416, and hopefully 420. Okay, so you don't want to just be all in one way or the other. You want to react to what you see. Okay, so the SPY right now is 403.94, and after hours is probably down a lot more than that right now in real time when this, you know what I'm saying, comes out based on futures. So be cautious for tomorrow. With that being said, guys, I want you to be prepared for whatever the market brings. I often talk about the importance of coming into the market unbiased. Okay, yeah, know what you want to do. So if you want to make a move off of the short periods of time the market might go up, you have to wait for the setup you like. Okay, if you want to take advantage of the downward pressure and you think the market's going to keep selling off, it's already selling off as we speak. Again, same thing. You still gotta wait for a setup you like. Okay, it's hard to just jump in and just you jump in and you notice now all of a sudden everything is selling off. But right when you jump in, things go right back up. You still have to wait for the setups to kind of rebuild themselves, and that's why I always talk about the importance of waiting on clarity in the market. Okay, so with that being said, guys, we are going to get to it regardless. You guys know the risks associated with trying to make money in the market. However, if you're up for it, it can be done. If you follow a trading plan, if you stick to your risk management, if you cut your losses, if you wait for the setups and the charts that you like, guys, you can be surgical in this game, but more importantly, you can dominate this game. And matter of fact, that's what I expect us to do, kicking it off tomorrow as well as throughout this week. With that being said, guys, remember, make sure you like and subscribe. Join us, if nothing else, in the Discord. But remember, we make videos like this every day, so if you like this one, make sure you check out the next one. Remember, most people see the end result, very few consider the journey. So do me a favor, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys grab some free stock using my link below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Stock trading in 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
New York City. Meet Revel Rideshare. Just request a ride with the Revel app, and one of our professional drivers will pick you up in an all-electric, variably Tesla. So New York, get excited, because a better ride has arrived.
Fetcher Powell's comments and speech at Jackson Hole, where the Fed reiterated their plans to maintain their hard stance on inflation and getting this problem back under control, even if it were to cause a recession. That had basically everything to the downside heading into the close on Friday. It was big tech, some of the banks as well, leading the way to the downside to end the week. Not pretty. We'll have a look at some of the big tech names coming up this morning. A few interesting notes on Apple, including trademark filings surrounding a VR headset, possibly. We'll talk about Apple coming up. Bed Bath & Beyond, very active here once again this morning. There's a call coming up on the 31st that is going to further outline their turnaround plans, including finalizing, everyone's speculating anyways, finalizing this funding that we learned more about last week. So we'll have a look at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's Monday, August 29th, 2022. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. More red numbers to look at. Yeah, big move down over the weekend in cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, 4%, 6.8% over the past 24 hours here. Once again this morning, not good. This is the way the equity markets are looking right now. 1.2 for the NASDAQ, 0.8, almost a full percent here for the S&P, extending, as I said in the slide we saw on Friday. Shout out to True Trading Group, once again jumping on board for this week, sponsoring the first segment of the show. Thanks to True Trading Group. Check them out on screen, guys. Welcome to the final 3 days of August. I don't think anyone's going to be sad to see this month go, guys. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Well, I think some people who don't want to go to school might think of that, but certainly it hasn't been a great end to the month. Obviously on Friday was a bit of a bloodbath. And then, yeah, over the weekend, crypto got hit, which I don't think was too much of a surprise. Oddly enough, just a little bit of a, just going to quickly show my chart from Binance here. Bit of a bounce happening in Bitcoin as it's attempting to reclaim that 20,000 level that was lost. So a little bit of a bounce happening, and Friday was not for any by any stretch of the imagination. It's been a while since we've seen that kind of a rejection and the types of candles that we saw on the ES there. So Jackson Hole, Fed comes out. Well, the speech was ridiculously short, not ridiculously short, but very short and very to the point, that inflation is what matters, and everything else, to be damned, must control prices and get that get that under wraps so that we can move forward. And if it happens to rut the economy or if it hurts growth in stocks, then at the end of the day, which what we're supposed to know about the Fed mandate holds true, that they have their laser focus on controlling prices, and the market can pretty much forget about that kind of support. It did lead to pretty much across the board weakness. Even the Chinese names that were relatively strong showed some signs of decline, and they got crushed. Today we look at Pinduoduo, which is up 10% on their earnings, but almost everything on Friday has a capitulation chart. It has breaks of key levels, so you're now sitting below major resistance. I mean, I was looking at NVIDIA 180 this time on Friday, and today I'm looking at 160. I think that says a lot.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, look, we were shorting everything Friday. I think it was not rocket science there about Friday. We had Amazon. I mean, we put it on the stick, we had Amazon short 138. We had, AMD 98 or whatever it was. We had all these names way higher, and today they're absolutely crushed again. And I don't think there's any longs whatsoever. I mean, I would be shorting Pinduoduo. Today, I don't think it's going to be another good day. We just finally turned red, like Brendan said there on Friday, for the month. So that's not a great little look there. And yeah, we'll just see. There's lots of names. I mean, Palantir's on my mind as well. Amazon to the downside. But yeah, it was another great weekend. Lots of stuff happening on my side. What did you guys wind up doing? You went to the Jays game. That was
both.
Yeah, that was too bad.
Yeah, they sucked.
The Jays. Yeah, too bad about the Jays.
Oh God.
They're
it's
I don't even know. I mean, they lost. What was it? So they lost 12-0. What was it, 12-0?
They didn't score. They didn't score until Sunday.
The Sunday, that's what. So it was, as you said, it was 18-3 or
And we
something.
won Friday and Saturday. So
Yeah, so you got shut out both days. That's the worst.
But
Baseball was fun to go to, but then when you don't get
Ohtani,
run, yeah, at least you got to see a picture.
Shohei Ohtani is like, first of all, he's one of the most impressive athletes I've ever seen. Like the guy was like busting it down the line, and like it was like a ground ball play, and he is stupid fast, man. Like he's track and field fast. And he throws 100 miles an hour, and he can hit the ball forward. I just wish he played for us, but we got our asses.
Embarrassing for LA. Like they probably have the two of the best players of the last decade, or like Trout. And then these guys can't even get it together. But they're 20 games under 500.
They whooped our butt 3 times, so I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say, but we had Diamonds Day, so my Diamonds did really well. And then yesterday we had some fun stuff too. Check my Twitter if you want to see some farmers market and some fun things like that. Finally got goated yesterday by a bunch of goats, so check that out there. Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Goated by goats.
Yeah, check out my Twitter if you want to have some fun stuff. Yeah, yo, what's up, Henry Z there? NVIDIA, a good play today? Yes, to answer that question. I think everything is a good play today. All you're really looking for is volume and volatility. And I mean, with everyone talking all about the market, as you're noticing right now, I don't know if you guys are noticing this, Brendan, but the market is back way above these pre-market highs right now, starting to take out some new levels. So although we want this market to be short, at least I do today, we might be getting some better opportunities to short pretty soon here as the NASDAQ goes back up to 12,513. That should be good. But hey, look, it's a fun time here. We had a great time on Friday. Thanks for the sauces, Andrew. It was a really fun time. And Henry, sorry. And we'll be looking forward to doing some more of those. But that was a really good time. I think we all survived pretty good. So on to the next as far as Hot Wings Challenge. Let's get to, and I want to shout out to Pratt. It was a fun, saw Brendan there. It was a fun little party there on Saturday night, I believe. Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah, tons of food, great time, great people. So yeah, shout out to Pratt. He's not in the building yet, but we'll talk about it when he does get here. A few things of note to start things off this morning. I just saw, guys, the dollar back to highs, the 10-year almost back to highs, the 2-year almost back to highs as well. And I'm talking about going back to earlier in the summer, those type of highs. So yeah, did Powell here not only steal the punch bowl from the summer rally, but took some of the shine out of this market as we head into the fall here. So Bitcoin downside, dollars upside big time this morning. I mean, what do we do here? Do people just throw in the towel and say, let's take the week off and see what happens in September maybe?
Okay, well, this is not for the market. This is for you, Mr. And thank you for the super chat, Mr. Westermeyer. Said he just proposed and she said yes. Can you shout it out? Of course we can. Daniel and Madeline, congratulations. Everyone hit the like for Daniel and Madeline, the big step. That's how we can celebrate here today. I can't promise the market will go up, but we can all be happy that she said yes. And, best of luck. And continue to watch, continue to enjoy the community. And hopefully Madeline's into trading, because I know you are a good friend there. I don't have much good to say about the market except for there's one kernel that I kind of like, and I'm just gonna pull up the daily on the SPY. The 50 period, if you look at what happened at the 200, like the harsh rejection, the SPY and the Dow hit that too at the same time. I think the 50 period gives you a chance at some kind of a bounce here today. So it's not, we're about $3 away from that on the SPY to that support level. I think it's at least something where you could get a solid little, maybe even a consolidation there. I mean, the last time we were going the other direction, we were breaking up the 50 and then coming back in, which is a bit more bullish. This time we're kind of crashing down into it. So I'll be looking for, I like some things to the short side. Obviously, Affirm is going to be in there, and NVIDIA is certainly going to be one. Was looking at Meta, Tesla. Tesla might get there to a price I like, Coinbase. But for profit taking, I'm going to be looking at that 50 period on the daily chart of the SPY. If we get down to 399 or so, then I think that can be an interesting level for maybe taking profit or catching a bit of a bid potentially this week. So you always have to have that higher time frame look. We also, what happened when we got to the 200 period, it was just a pretty harsh reversal. Once that failed, everything in the market was like program sell. I don't think the reverse will happen, but I think there's at least a chance we can catch a bid at that price.
When you get these big nasty candles on Apple, it's not a good sign, right? I mean, Apple's we talked about it there, 12% of the NASDAQ, 7% of the market. It's going to continue to bleed down here, and the markets can't catch a break until Apple starts to make a move back. So basically, Apple goes all the way back into resistance up here at 178. It hangs around there for 2 or 3 days, and then Jackson Hole, and not just Jackson Hole. I mean, you know, it's been weak there for 5 or 6 days. You get a couple up days, and then now today you're back here. So I feel like we tested that upper bound, and now we could probably test somewhere around here, 152, 154 to this lower reach. So I don't think the market bounces until we can come back into here, 150, 152 for Apple. So I still think you got 10 bucks off of this. It might not happen right away off the morning today, but there's a nice little bump up. I mean, you see the same thing. This is why I'm trying to short names like Amazon. Unfortunately, we don't have the split adjusted price, and we just do zoom out like that. So Amazon, again, look how many times we spent up here at 140, 144. It's just like, just kept on staying up here, and then eventually, you know, we know there's no good news coming, so it kind of had to fall back in. So I still kind of feel the same way. I mean, we may not get resistance in Amazon until we get down to this 120, 122 area right down here. So we hang around up here. We break below this 134, which was pretty key there on Friday. We talked about this. We were short up here 138, top tick on Friday, and then you come all the way back down. I mean, just look how sick this name was here. This was, I don't know. Oh, again, we're gonna have bad wicks on this name again, but 138. Just you got it early, and then it just all day fell all the way until we got to 131. So $8, $7, $8 in a straight line, and then now Amazon today hovering still below that 130 line, right? So I don't know. I feel like this market doesn't look very good. There's lots of names. Meta's below 160 now. Google's a lot lower. I mean, Meta 160. Google's what, 109? It broke through 110. Look at Meta, 170 all the way down to 161. We tried to fight the long. Actually, I think we did okay on the long actually on Friday, but look at this move to the downside. As long as we stay below this 160, I like the short. I said give it to 162, basically where we closed on Friday. So let's just see if some damage can sort of get relieved a little bit here off the open, but ultimately I still think it's a short today.
That's a great point. We should maybe get a little bit of a bounce here to kick things off, but it's noticeable. I saw a lot of people talking over the weekend about the noticeable change over the past couple of weeks in some of these comments from the Fed. If you remember, initially it was soft landing, guaranteed to be a soft landing, and now it's they're going to keep going until even if, you know, it causes a recession. So more hard talk, obviously, coming from Chair Powell. Here's a couple of interesting notes as well. Walmart, not really doing much, but they're going to pick up the rest of this South African retailer Massmart that they don't already know. Here's Bed Bath & Beyond. This was out late last week, August 31st, as I mentioned, to kick things off here. There's going to be a conference call to update their turnaround plans, which includes further details apparently on this funding that we learned about last week for BBBY. Pretty active here this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few things that's going to be up. There's not a heck of a lot that, when I pulled my quote board this morning, it's not a fun one to look at. It's just the stocks that I was watching last week and the ones I wanted to add today. Yeah, and not a lot that was watching last week was going to be green, but at least Bed Bath & Beyond might give you some upside move today. It's pretty sort of, I don't want to say it's obvious, but if you can look at what's been happening the last couple sessions, it has been relatively quiet, but it's been putting in these series of higher lows, starting on Thursday and then Friday, finding support first at like 9.50, then you got this support sitting at $10, and now essentially you're breaking out at 11, and you know, I just sort of like the trend it's got. I think obviously everyone wants to hear what the turnaround is going to be. The fact they got the loan is necessary because they're burning through cash and running into a lot of trouble. Like, let's just say Bed Bath & Beyond has a reputation among carriers and in transport that, yeah, their payment schedule is a little bit different from everybody else because reliability is a heck of a lot lower, and that's been that way for a long time for them. So, you know, there's a lot, even within segments of the industry, you know, people don't believe that this is something that's going to be very secure. But they got the 400 million or 370 million loan, it looks like, is going to go through. Obviously, you also have the short interest and then the momentum that comes with that. $11 was a problem for this to get through, despite the strong support that it had all session long, around $10. It would be bought up there. Now you're gapping and breaking above that. So I like to buy in front of that 11. You did have some wick highs to 11.25. That's why I'm long in front of that level. If we dip at the open, I tend to like the deeper level as opposed to the higher one up. A lot of times we see that little rug pull. That would be down into 11 even. And $12 is a big level. It's a big one. Like all week long, every time it tried to touch 12, it was a harsh rejection. If it gets through 12, that's when you actually get some real upside. 12, and then if you start to think about the gap back into the 16, 17. I'm not saying it can go there, but 12 is that gigantic hurdle. Today, support's $11 for me. Maybe down even to 1070 is a bit of a channel. But this is one of the few names I kind of like to that long side right away, but that's because it doesn't necessarily follow the overall market. Like the meme stocks, the smaller cap names, you're going to get some opportunities to go long in a weak market on them because, quite frankly, they run on their own sort of catalyst, and you don't have to worry too much about how weak the market is. That said, if we go down far enough, as witnessed on Friday, sometimes it drags everything down. So when you get one of those 3 or 4% days, it doesn't matter how strong the catalyst is for even a small cap.
No, I want to quickly look here. Yeah, I put out today. Oh, this is from yesterday. Yeah, here's all these goats and everything like that. This is the best. These peaches. I don't know if you can. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the peaches were the size of your head, basically. I don't know why. I didn't get too many peaches. I got more plums. Yeah, these ones right there. Pretty spicy, pretty nice. And then leadership award, my kid got. So okay, hold on a second. Let me just go this. I want to talk about this. I messaged today. What are we shorting today here on Twitter? And we got 27 likes. We got 35 comments. Yeah, firm's in here somewhere. But I just want to say there's a lot of people in here. Some snowflake. But there it was. There's a few. What's up to Josh? And there's a few other people. I really shout out to Mario. I really like Tesla breaking through 280. I mean, that's done. I've been shorting Tesla for a while, or selling my position. You guys know about that. We sold Netflix. A Chef's Choice. I like that one as well. Short Amazon. There's Bed Bath and Beyond again. Where's the sticky note? Well, it's out now. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. A lot of people want to short Bed Bath and Beyond. I didn't pay for shorts on this name. I like to trade it, but generally it just distracts me from working on the bigger ones. So I like Bed Bath & Beyond. Neil went over some of the levels there. I still think if you can get back down to $10, but this financing is going to be the story for a little bit. We know the story of this thing ramping up. So I think it's a no-brainer breaking through 12. You take that long and then you just see what happens next. I mean, you want to trade price action, you want to trade momentum, and that's what you're going to do here through Bed Bath & Beyond. Just don't make it too fancy. You don't really even have to look at too many key levels. If it's going, just hope you're long, and if you're short, find outs, where you want to get out. For me, I think 13 is a good level. You break 12, you get to 13. That's where we had this gap up there back on the 15th. So I feel like that's a decent level, and that bottom is 1350. So 13, I'd get something out, and then I'd look at 1350 as a short, or another area to worry about if you're long, if you're short and you want to cover to get out. So I'd say 1350, you're in trouble, but I go long through 12.
There was that latest note late last week as well in the short interest, still hovering around 60% on Bed Bath & Beyond as well. Here is oil, guys, making a move right now. There was a decent move from 93.5 up to 94.5. Coming off now pretty hard as well, but some of these oil stocks holding up a little bit better than the market right now, but oil remains pretty volatile heading into the new week as well.
Yeah, I actually just people in the chat are telling me that the Artemis launch is getting delayed, which is disappointing. I kind of wanted that. That's some cool stuff. I always love any kind of launch to be able to watch it. But I thought, outside of like a couple of minutes ago, I was sort of sitting here thinking, okay, well, oil looks like it's in the midst of a teeny tiny potential break. I mean, it's up, was up significantly, not significantly, but relative to the market, significantly. It looked like we're taking out that 94 resistance and maybe breaking back out into like 96. Look for like Indo to be a bit of a play if you're looking for a long there, and then maybe you could find one of the other names, and then we're pulling sort of right back into that same support. I'd like to see this breaking out. If it does, I already know if we do get that break, get around 95. I still like these smaller cap ones. They've been really solid. So I lean toward Indo as one of the go-tos in that realm, and it's right at that $10 level. It could just pull back at 10. Sets up really well for potential 10 break or a 10.50 break. But we've seen the story with these, that or HUSA, any of those smaller cap ones. You need strength in oil. Not a ton of it, but you just need strength in spot for them to really get going, and then you can see the outsized moves come from Indo. At this point, with it pulling back in, I'll put that one to the wayside till we get to the open and find some more strength. There's plenty of room for it to either find a bid or maybe catch a little bit of a breakout later. But Indo was the one I wanted to watch. That pullback in oil might take that breakout away, at least temporarily, until the open.
All All right, so it was a couple weeks ago that we talked about oil with Daniel Shea. It was a couple Thursdays ago. I've been buying, I've been selling. You guys know I've been selling Tesla. I sold some Netflix. Didn't really sell too many other things that I could think of off the top of my head. But buy oil, right? And so oil back down here, $85, $86, up to 90, 95 there. I like it. That's a 50 period. The 200 period's right here, the red, that's 95. So we continue to bounce our head off 95. It's going to have to take that out and stay above it for a bit. It's been under it now for almost a month, basically. It's been under the 200 period. Once it breaks it, then I don't, I really think we get to 104, 105, 108. Nat gas has been absolutely mooning, so I think that could come back into life a little bit here. Come back down. I'll find the Nat gas quote here on eSignal for you in a minute, but 95, 50, 95 right there. I think we got to break that. So that's 95.20, and today we're looking at 94.08. So we'll wait to see where we go, but a nice little move to the upside. The 50 period still there at 97.73, but we're well under the 200 for a few days here, about a month. I think we break it and we go higher. So watch out for that one right there. We saw what happened with the S&P got to the 200. It completely reversed and went the other way. I think oil breaks out and goes upside. So watch out for oil right here. I still think you could buy it at $94. It could dip back down. I mean, if equities slow down a little bit here, like I said, it's been pretty disastrous couple days here, but if oil pops its head back underneath 90 for a bit, I think it's a buy. So I like oil here. I still think you can buy all the oil, every single oil name, a major cap oil name there. Indo and Husa and those kind of things will obviously run with the crowd. But, I like CVX, I like Exxon, but more importantly, I like XLE.
All right,
yep.
Let's get a few analyst moves here this morning for everyone. AstraZeneca to the upside. It's actually negative on the morning, but this note from Argus actually pretty positive on AstraZeneca, so worth a note. There's one of these gene companies on here as well from Citigroup. DNA, maybe write that down this morning. Kathy Wood, I saw ARK was buying up Ginkgo Bioworks on Friday to the tune of about 2 million shares. There's Peloton, Toll Brothers, Endeavor, and Marvell, guys.
Oh, Peloton.
Peloton, eh?
Yeah. So
Not upgraded? What?
I know. I'm surprised by that one.
What? Who dare downgrade Peloton?
I can't. First of all, I can't believe it. I feel because it was literally like last week. I think it was on Wednesday. Was it that Peloton gets the Amazon news, and it was one of the strongest names out there. It was up like 250, 20-something% to the upside, and then woodshedded the next day, breaking support on Friday, and now you're staring at a $10 break, right? Like this stock will be single digits with one more downward push. I'm kind of hoping it holds off to give a short into 1060 because I like floor breaks, right? Like it just broke the 50 period on the daily. That's at about 1060. It had on Thursday a bottom at 1065. That's the level we worked off. It got to that price, closed at 1060. So I just want a short in front of that level. But Peloton sees a 10 break on the bid, and I'm going short through $10 on Peloton this week. Maybe it doesn't happen today. Maybe it happens tomorrow. Maybe it happens on Wednesday. If it happens on Thursday, I'm in Dallas, so I guess I can't really trade it then. But I'm going to have that stop locked and loaded on Peloton through 10 even. Actually, I don't even know if it's SSR. I don't think it is. It's not SSR, so no trouble there if it goes through 10. Otherwise, I want to short into that 1060 area. So Peloton, not really looking for any longs. I know it can squeeze. Obviously, if it gets to $11, maybe you give it up a little bit there. But yeah, some pretty key levels here for Peloton. And this wouldn't be like breaking 10 isn't some kind of all-time low or recent low. Like this was trading at $8 back in July. So it breaks 10 even. You got a couple of bucks before you find that $8 support when things get spicy. I feel like if it gets to $5, somebody's going to be interested in picking up the business because it'll have gotten so cheap. But until that happens, I'm short it.
Yeah, we're going to be a man down on Thursday, so we're going to try to figure that out today. We have a couple meetings. We'll figure out who's going to be beside me, but that should be a really fun trip. Affirm E, just another name here that there's some people talking about. We had, a pretty bad day there on Friday, a couple bad days happening here for Affirm. Although now that I look at it, I mean, maybe Friday wasn't so bad there, but, we were long early, obviously, and then it just kept on going to the downside. Obviously, we should have been short, I should say, not obviously. I just thought it was one of those names that, the heavy short interest, it's one of these, high growth names with a horrible quarter. Let's go long. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. Breaking down through 28. We were long early, got away from it, and it was okay. But then it just continued to make its downside move. But look, this 24, we kind of stopped at 24 there and then bounced into the close and got up as high as 25.50. Like, if you guys remember the close there on Friday, it was pretty brutal. And this is what I mean by it was actually half decent. Like, it only went back down to 24.50, not taking out its bottom of 24 when most stocks closed at the low and accelerated sort of into that close. You guys remember we were watching that. We had a banger on AMD to the short side there into the close. But for me, a firm today, definitely watching out for that 25.50 level in case for some reason it thinks it wants to get back up here. That's definitely a name for me to look at a short side. And then, I don't know, I feel like there was a chip name on that downgrade side, but there might have not been. Marvell, but that might have been on the upgrade side. Was it on the downgrade side?
It was downgrade.
It was downgrade side. Okay, good. So, yeah, and I just wanted to look at some of these tech names. That was AMD there that we shorted that bottom of 92, and we shorted it pretty early, not pretty early, but it was 3:30-ish when it started to break, and then that last half hour, there's the acceleration into the close, printing 91, and then now today you're sub 90 again, right? And so, I don't know. I'd still really like this short 90, 91 if we can get that. And then it was Marvell there. So broke through 50. This was another level that we looked at all day on Friday. It kept bouncing off that 50 level. Now you're below it. So I always sort of zoom back out a little bit and say, okay, this was a pretty disastrous day. Look how choppy it was in the morning before eventually breaking down. Pretty choppy here in the close. So not necessarily a name I want to look at because of its chop factor here. And it was pretty nasty all day, really. It kept going down, but you would have got stopped out, I feel like. So for me, I think you got to wait to get into this area, 51, 51.50, something like that for Marvell. So this is not the name I want to trade today. Very, very choppy. I'm just going to stick with the trending names, the NVIDIA and the AMDs, if I'm going to do anything in the tech space, or sorry, in the chip space. But Amazon, Meta, AMD, number 3 on here, followed by Palantir. And then the biggest and the baddest, which we'll get to at some point, I'm sure, Tesla, looking to go short side as well.
There's a note on Meta, guys, on WhatsApp. There was actually a cautious note from Behringer on NVIDIA as well, so more in the chip space here. Note, though, on Meta, WhatsApp rolling out with this GeoMart in India. So GeoMart is basically a grocery app. You can order groceries on it. So now you can do that through GeoMart directly from your WhatsApp. In India. So there was actually a little move up there in Meta shares.
Yeah, Meta, well, okay, so it's pretty much exactly doing, I was about to say it was doing a little bit better than the market, but that's not really that true. Pretty much exactly the same as the ES. The NASDAQ may be down a little bit more. We always talk about shelf breaks and key levels getting broken. Well, you know, last week's bottom, that 160 level, where it had a fantastic, almost exactly $10 bounce, from the middle of the week to that 170 that we saw at the open on Friday, you're basically at that 160. So that's going to be an interesting line in the sand here, I think, for shares of Meta. And it's got an obvious, since the name change, by the way, because if you can see the daily chart really only goes back to the symbol change there. But since they had the name change officially, 153 has been this hard bottom. So I think that puts your floor hopefully for this week, and then we're deciding today whether we're going to be breaking this support here. I almost want to see what happens at the open. I feel the same way about this as I did about NVIDIA on Friday and how I feel about NVIDIA today, which is instead of me trying to pick which way it's going to go, if it breaks that support at the open and can't hold it, then you're just shorting in front of it. There's always a chance that this is, you know, it's the last week before the long weekend. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if you had more inside trading than maybe we're accustomed to, which could mean that any downward pressure is more floating down than anything else, as opposed to just like the explosive downside that we saw on Friday. And if that's the case, you will see potentially a couple of names pick up some bids. We're right at that key level right now, so I'd rather see us open up, maybe slide down, hold below 160, and then you can short off the pre-market highs there on Meta. But yeah, that's another one of those big floors that looks like it's about to get broken. And there's a lot of those today. You're going to look at a lot of charts that look very similar, consolidation bottoms. If they all hold support at the same time, maybe you can catch a bounce. I'd be skeptical as to how far that bounce could go, and if it got to 163, I think it would need to be faded.
Look, we already wrote down that Meta's down through 160, right? I mean, as long as it stays below there, it's a short. I mean, I think it goes to 150 if we stay below. Look for more, key levels there. 162 is the ultimate top that I'm waiting for right now. So we already put this out here. There's Tesla 280, Palantir 8, and a couple different ideas here on the sticky note. So thanks for everybody looking out for that, and I'll put it in the chat, and so will Bears versus Bulls, I assume, as well. But I just think that, you're below these levels. Watch to keep going down. I mean, Meta's hasn't come up with some great quarters. They continue to spend on something called the metaverse, which who knows if that's ever going to get developed fully or not. Interesting. I like the fact that Apple there was some talk about them having the glasses and doing some sort of a meta or virtual reality type of thing as well. I think that only helps Meta, to be honest with you. The more people talk about it, the better I feel like it's going to be, and they just need more people to work on it. I mean, my family still plays with their Oculus all the time, so there are still some good things there, but the spend that they have going through is just unbelievable on the metaverse, in the billions of dollars, and getting absolutely nothing back for it. So this is not a growth story, but it tries to trade like that, and as long as the market keeps going down, this name's just going to get hit. They have too much spend. Their PE is like 11. Like, it's, if you're going to find a value name, I believe it's going to be Meta, but at the same time, they're not performing, they're not producing. I mean, look at this. We were just at 182 2 weeks ago, and in this route, it's really got routed all the way down and starting to make out some of these new lows again here of that 160. So this is the chart. Again, I don't know where that split happened. Oh yeah, the name change, sorry. Ever since then, we've been below 160 before, but look, we're bouncing off 158, 159. There's some key levels here. As long as we stay below 160, I think we test some of these levels. So for me, Meta continues to be a short, and I don't really have a problem trying to hold this name. It's just this is probably the most violent major cap name out there, just as far as the way it can move. I mean, Nvidia moves pretty quickly, that's fine, but you can watch AMD and some of the other ones. Meta can just sort of move on its own, and it could be 50 cents in the money. And then I was showing you examples of this on Friday. It's too bad my trades don't load up on here for some reason today, but we are in the money and then out of the money. Like within 1 minute, you could be in and out $1 on this name. So pretty violent. We're gonna watch it. I still have an offer out. I have offers out on AMD, Amazon, Meta, and Palantir, like right now. So we're trying to get short right at Friday's close, pretty much on all of these names. So if the market bounces up, I'm here to short it, and then we'll be hella short, and then we'll be either being stopped out like crazy or hopefully hitting some money buttons. But I'm looking to go short today in the market. I don't really see a reason to rally. This is going to be probably the second lightest week for volume outside of the Christmas time. So
there's one worse.
Yeah, what next? The week after?
No, the Thanksgiving week.
Oh, the Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Thanksgiving week. Yeah,
it's there.
That's there too. Yeah. So I think historically you're going to have a few slow weeks, and this is going to be one of them. I mean, so many people. I mean, just look around your office, or if you're at home, all your friends are probably at home doing the same type of stuff, man. People are getting their last minute vacays in, traveling right before school. I don't know. That's what I feel is happening. And whenever there's light volumes, some of these weaker names will continue to fall. But the market's moving, so that's kind of the savior right now, is that volume will still come back in because people are struggling or trying to figure out where to position themselves for the fall. Fall generally not great. We'll see what happens this time around.
Sentiment helping in that sense as well, as far as maybe a reason not to be involved. There's an early look, guys, at European markets to kick things off for the brand new week. More than a full percent basically right across the board here. England faring a little bit better, 0.7, 0.85 for Italy, 0.5% for the Swiss market. But I mean, Asian markets were lower to start. Europe still downside as well. And an early look at the social sentiment board here. A lot of red on this once again, led by obviously the overall market here to the downside. There's AMC red on the day. This OLB popped up last week, green on the day so far, actually pretty active once again. There's Bed Bath & Beyond, as we set up, about 10%. It is coming off a bit. APE shares downside. Remember all last week, EMC was red and APE was green, so now they're both to the downside on this board. CFVI, JZ, that little tiny IPO that came out, I think it was Thursday. Million shares on that one. BBIG, Tesla. All the usual suspects on here, guys. Pretty negative sentiment to start, though.
You can say Jay-Z. I know in Canada, it's Z, right? But Jay-Z just sounds better because it's Jay-Z. So I'm going to call that stock Jay-Z. But I think it's headed down to $4. It's not there yet, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. It's actually above $10 last I checked. But OLB bears mentioning because it just broke out the top, and the top was 2.25 on the daily. The last significant resistance is 2.25, and it's now breaking. It broke out the 225, holding this for support. This is yet another one. Like, if you're going to look for the strength in the market, well, I mean, stocks to go long in the market that are probably going to be able to buck this trend, then it's going to have to be these smaller cap names there. I know there's some other names which are more popular online. A lot of people have been talking over the weekend, like Vinco Ventures had some notes there, and we'll get into that one. But this 225 level looks pretty good for a jump off to 250. This had great consolidation. If you looked at each time it would break out, it would then pull back, consolidate off the breakout price on Friday, and give you tremendous support. That was at 160 after an early break. I'm thinking that either the 225 or the $2 can be that for us today. This is going to hold strong. Those are the two levels I'd want to buy in front of. Pretty obvious there, $2, 225 on any kind of a dip. But it was after the initial break, it was all about buying the dip and sort of scalping it to the high, and it was 165 to 2. You got that 3 times essentially on Friday. I'm kind of hoping we can get the same thing off either the 2 or 225 level at the open.
We have, some of these stocks are just insane. We have this drug stock up again, another 17% today, and still trying to go upside here after basing out basically. I mean, this is a great base down here at 140. I mean, you know, it hit it there, went underneath, took it out, came back, tested a bunch of times down there to 140, and then started to go back up to the upside. Notice today, I don't know if that's real today. I don't think it went up to 4 and change, or sorry, that might be Friday. But you know, here it is hanging out a little bit, this drug name. If it can rally and find a base, great. On the downside, I still think, you know, if you're looking at this name and saying I'm not in yet and I want to try to buy something up, I mean, here's the break there on the 25th of 250, upside to 3, came back in, tested again once, twice, tested again there on whatever that is, the 26th or 27th, before hitting up high here today and coming back in. I guess that was Friday, and then coming back here and now retesting this $3 again. So as I look at drug, I just think, like, if you can come back and retest some of these bottoms 240, then you might be good to go here on a little bit of a dip buy for DRUG. So that's a name that you want to look at here today. And then there was another one, and again, I know these are all, what is it, 907. We may not get to all these, but Vinco Ventures, we always talk about this when you're at $1 mark. You saw MindMed break through $1 and go to about $1.40 or so before coming back in. Vinco Ventures, again, it's broken a bunch of times. I mean, this is just a 20-minute chart. But, you know, like, what about these bases down here at 90 cents? I mean, when you're going to find a stock, and I know that this name, what, it was gone and then came back. They released, what, Tide? Was that, well, that was their stock, I think. Their spin-off there, their dividend spin-off. But, you know, now that you're back down here near $1, you kind of try to get this support at 90 cents. And I know there is news on there. This is only, what do we write in our, so again, if you guys are just joining us now, and I don't want to like give away everything here, but this is our Vinco Ventures. This is our watch list that gets mailed to you. So lots of information on here. And again, Vinco Ventures up, company was given a court-appointed executive team, right? So there is some news here about Vinco Ventures. So make sure you grab our watches to find that out. But I just feel like holding $1 could be pretty key. Normally, some of the participants, market makers or underwriters or whatever would tend to support this near $1, because if you stay under $1 for a while, the NASDAQ's going to come calling. You're going to have to file. You're going to have to figure out why you're below $1 and how you're going to get back above it. And if you don't, then you're talking about a reverse split, like 10 to 1 to get it back to $10. And then we know what happens when stocks reverse split. They just get hit even more to the downside. So as shareholders, we don't want that, but you do want this name to stay above $1. So I think this is an interesting to watch today, over 1 million shares.
Let's get into some of those names. There was that non-compliance a couple weeks ago. That was for earnings, though, not on minimum bid from the NASDAQ for BBIG. Here's the notes, guys, on the watch list. First of all, make sure you grab that every single day. If you haven't done so yet, grab the QR code. All you need is your email address. We send it right to your inbox now, so it's much easier, as you saw there from Sean. Here's Pinduoduo, better than expected quarterly revenue right across the board. Remember, this was very positive last week on these North American expansion plans that they talked about a little bit further in the report as well. So they're approaching this, it seems like anyways, they're approaching this North American expansion as their primary kind of marketplace going forward. So completely separate things, completely separate websites, completely separate right across the board. So more positive talk there on that from PDD today.
Yeah, I mean, PDD is just a big mover, and this is a name that, you know, we really identified for you a long time ago. I mean, it was a few weeks ago when we came out there and when that news sort of started to break there, that they were trying to expand into North America, into Europe, out of China. And then, you know, that these bases down here at $46, $47, $48, I mean, you're not going to, I mean, you are going to find names like this, but that's about as good as it gets right there, because, you know, you can get these longs back in 48, 49, 50 and give yourselves to 45 bottom. And then if this rally does happen, I mean, Pinduoduo has even been higher than this, of course, and it's just been routed with a lot of the Chinese names. So I like that they're changing up their business model a little bit there, throwing down, like you mentioned, different websites, trying to really differentiate themselves. I don't think you want to launch in the United States under, you know, like, yeah, we're this big Chinese company. I just don't think that that's going to roll very well there in the U.S. So I do like the is it a completely rebrand, or they're just, I think that's basically what was going on there. So we'll see what happens, but I still think it's a hell of a short, man. I don't, you know what, honestly, like, they're working and they're doing well, and they're up 12%, and it's absolutely rocking. And I don't know if we want to short it right off the bat. Probably not. There's going to be traders that are caught offside, but you're way above the 50 period. You're running in again. No matter how well you're operating, and I know they're changing things up, you're still running into resistance up here near 70. And I know that's 10% away from here, but you know, you're running into this level, and I think it's not even 70. It's like 67, 68. So it's a lot closer than we think. I just feel like prove me wrong and break through 70. So that's my attitude here with Pinduoduo. And if it continues to make a move upside, then so be it. I mean, great long, anybody that's had it. I mean, you could have had this name, and we've been talking about it at these levels. And Pinduoduo was one of the names that I traded on Friday as well. Like, not afraid to get into this name. It's just, it's continuing. Here it is right here. We actually shorted it, but not afraid to get into this name. I will be shorting. If I was shorting this thing at 58, I mean, I'd like it even more at 65. But again, decent earnings report. I like that expansion talk. I like what they're doing. It's just, you know, let's see if it holds, man. I mean, this $62, people going to have to want to short that. And I don't know, like, are you going to be standing in front of a falling sword here? I feel like it's worth testing the long, just like I did on a firm. But at some point, you're going to have to give it up. And when you give it up, guess what? Everybody else is giving it up as well. And then we come right back down to the downside. So up 11%, I think it's primed for a fade. And I just hope that I'm on it when it's making that move to the downside.
Yeah, well, the good news is I don't know if you have to catch the falling sword, because when I sat down, if you looked at what happened on Friday, like, it was sort of obvious when it. Well, I thought it was obvious the levels you wanted was the 65 break on the gap on earnings, and then 64 was sort of the support that it had that got broken down. Well, it already broke out 65. So that's, I mean, it's already broken out from that high. You even had like the 64 level, which was the initial break at 7 a.m., and then it takes out the 65 right away, and now you're back below both of those two prices. So it would almost have to reclaim 65 to give you a secondary push, which usually isn't as strong as the first. And sometimes it is what it is. Like, the move happens in the pre-market, and that's your opportunity. You know, like Sean said, I'm going with the wrong way there. As Sean said, you run into resistance at that $70 level, which is an obvious line in the sand. I just feel like now that channel 64, 65, which is bullish above, becomes a little bit bearish below it, unfortunately. And we've seen what this stock does when it gets going and can have momentum in it. You know, outside of Friday, like, this was an absolute monster bouncing off that 45 support. Like, look at how long it consolidated, gave you a clean break above the 50 and the 200 on the daily, very bullish look, and then it just absolutely catapulted itself, you know, the last $10. But it's 65 is that level where it just hard rejected that price. And the context of what mattered about that 65 and why it's going to be so important is Alibaba, and I said this on Friday, Alibaba and Neo and all the other Chinese names after the huge gaps up were all breaking out in the pre-market and continuing to make new highs, and Pinduoduo just held below 65 and eventually fell apart right at the open below 64. That's why it came in saying, okay, 65 break, 64 support. That's come and gone. You're below both those two numbers. And below here, your fear is that you have another one of those gap fills, because I don't know if there's buyers till at least 60, if not like 58 even. So I'd only try to get this long if it holds above 65 at the open, and then it's a short at 69. Otherwise, it's a stay away from me beneath those two levels. It has to be holding those bids at the open for me to like that long. Feels like should have just been a long at 7 a.m. to be honest.
All right, let's continue along here. Big tech, big move down on Friday, coming off this note from Fed Chair Powell. Under pressure here again in the pre-market. Just aggressive rate hikes to come was all they needed to say. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, Netflix, Nvidia, all downside to start so far today. Remember, this happened on Friday as well. The DOJ out saying that they're close to a possible antitrust suit coming against Apple. That added to the pressure on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not helping, but realistically, it almost didn't matter if the stock was open on Friday, it was getting its butt kicked. And that's a harsh reality. The only thing I want to add, because I know Sean already talked about Apple, 161, that 200 period moving average, that's a line in the sand that we're basically holding on Apple, which gives you a pretty big pivot point. And if we're going to hold that line, I think it gives us a chance, at least for the market, to not completely free fall. So Apple's pretty much on that precipice there. I did want to look at Tesla. We've talked a little bit about Meta. We've talked a little bit about Amazon this morning, but not necessarily Tesla. Our charts aren't going to be split adjusted. However, the math is pretty simple to be able to do. If you look at the last week, you had this 255, which of course works out to about like a 285 resistance if you turn that support into resistance. So that's the first thing I'll be looking upside. 285 half, 286 as a resistance zone on any kind of pop into Tesla. And that's just that previous support on the 15-minute chart. And then you look at what happened the last couple of sessions. You even have that 287 where we ended up going down off that 288 close. And then 280 is another big level. So that's that 840 that we had before the split. I like that for any kind of a pop. It's already showing strength going into these levels. So I think we get a possible test of 285, 50, and 286 on strength. And then keep in mind, even if the market goes down initially, we've had mornings where Tesla will hold strength while the market is weak or going sideways. So I don't think you need a crazy pop for Tesla to start testing that 285 half, 286 area. I think it's very reasonable that it could just do it anyways. For now, there seems like there's a bit of a seller at 284 that it's having trouble getting through. But I like the 85 half, 86 as a resistance for this week.
We're talking about Tesla? Yeah, I mean, look, I know our charts don't show it, and I know, here, I can bring it down from e-signal. Yeah, I got that big tech from the big man in my ear. I like that. Okay, so we can talk a lot about big tech here, but this is that 280 at Fahad. This is that 280 level there coming back in. So we're going to wait to see, man. 283, there's 280. Like, it's almost like the reverse of Pinduo Duo, where Pinduo Duo was doing this and then busted up. Now Tesla's doing this, and it looks like it wants to come back down to the downside. So you want to talk about a name that has a PE that is still unbelievable, into the 90s, 100. I mean, I don't know what it is today, but we looked at it. I think it was Prad looked at it there on Friday. It was 99 or 98 or something, or whoever. Maybe I think it was Sharif actually that brought up Tesla's PE, right? So yeah, so breaking back down through 280. I mean, I think this one's primed to get hit again, and then just to land back in here. 240, 220, 230, something like that. I wouldn't look for that today. I would look for a retracement back down. I mean, you could get a 270 print. This could be worth $10 to you today for sure on the downside if you do break. I mean, we're going to have another down 3% day to take $10 on Tesla, but I don't think that's out of the cards either. I mean, I think 3% is a lot. I really feel like the S&P right now is at 4,024 or so. I think we can get to 3,800, so that would be another 5% down or so on the S&P for sure. So I don't know if it happens today, tomorrow, this week, but Tesla for me is pretty primed out for that. We were short on Tesla the last couple of days, so let's keep that going. We've already talked about Amazon, how much I like that short, but one name, Meta, AMD. I mean, I didn't write Google on here, but that's another one that you could look at. And then I just think you stick with AMD. I mean, excuse me, it's below 90. That's been a key level. We saw it trade around 90 before. It's dipped into the 70s on this route the last little while. And now we'll wait to see what this new leg down brings for AMD. I mean, pretty sick all day on Friday. But look at the choppiness here. Early, this is what I'm talking about. We had this short 97. Then we had it again at 92. We diddled with this in the midday show as well. Probably lost on this because I see that we have some outs down there, but I think the longs were pretty good, and then it broke 92, it broke it pretty hard. That was that short that we had right into 91. It basically lost $1 in the last half hour. We were part of it, so that was fun as we were eating those wings, but there it comes back in. So for me, my short rate now is starting at 91.50, which is all the way back here. I don't know if we get to that, but we've seen some crazy moves off the open. We opened up on Friday here at like 96 something. We dipped all the way down to 90, I guess it was 97, down to 95.80, brought it all the way back to 97, even almost touched 98 there again. So before finishing, like, you touch 98 on a day on like Friday, and then I mean that was on Jackson Hole news, right when he left the podium. But still, that's just how violent these names can get. To touch 98 and close that 91, you know, that's 10% intraday for AMD, like a 10% move to the roughly 8.5% to the downside there on AMD intraday. So let's see if it can have a similar move today. I mean, a short I think is the right play, and on big cap, that's what I'm looking for.
All right, here's a note. We covered BBBY a little bit earlier. Here's a note if anyone missed it. Guys, really going to be all about, what is that, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. There's going to be a call outlining further this funding that they are in the process of getting. It's worth a note, anything crypto related getting hit here. Coinbase, high on the relative volume scale, already to the downside this morning as BTC continues to slide. Netflix on the board there, they came out saying $7 to $9 a month for this ad-supported model that's coming apparently in Q3. Full rollout, however, will not be apparently until early next year, but you're still going to have to pay $7 to $9 a month to start for the ad-supported model.
I ain't paying for it. Well, no, so I will pay for it, I should say. I'm not going to the 7 to 9. I'll probably just stick around with.
I don't even know what my streaming bills are
because I don't.
They all up their prices, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Netflix.
I don't know. I legitimately don't know how much Netflix is right now. So I think a lot of people, there will be some camps that will test it out. I think that makes some sense. I think it's overall a positive that they're looking to do this. It makes a ton of sense to me. I'm gonna get to Netflix in a quick second, maybe look at the chart. But for anyone that was asking about MindMed, no, it is not up ridiculous amount. It's in fact actually down 3%. They did do a 1 for 15 reverse split.
That's the worst.
Yeah, so that's pretty bearish. They were trading at like 70 something cents, I think, before the split. So obviously to stay above $1. Now they've done the reverse split. It tends to be pretty bearish. It's not doing a heck of a lot in the pre-market, but if you're watching this, just watch out for a bit of a fall there. Understanding that this is usually a sign, like it's something done artificially to keep them able to be listed and hold that dollar line. But not a lot of pre-market volume there, unfortunately. I thought maybe there'd be something that could be worked for a short. Netflix is kinda, sort of, potentially wants to be relatively strong. That's the best I can look for on Netflix. The fact that it's only like, if it's less than 1% down, it's not doing too bad today. But it's another one of these names, just broke 222, a major support level. If it gets back above that price, I like it a heck of a lot more. But every chart I look at, it's like breaks major floor, and usually the rule of thumb I like is when you break a floor like that, you want to be shorting into it as opposed to looking for those longs. It needs to get above. And it's even more close to 223 where it closed, I think, before I'd even get that confident in looking for that long trade. But it's a lot closer to that support level than some other things I'm looking at, which have broken gaps and the charts just look dreadful. Netflix isn't so bad. It's about $1.50 away from getting back up to where I think it could establish itself for a little bit of a long and then refine that support. Because if you look at the breakdown, like the gap, you've only had this pre-market of trading below that support at 222, 223, and it's been 75,000 shares in pre-market volume. If volume comes in above that price, then it's almost like it never happened. But I need to wait and see some bulls off the open before I'd be joining that party. I'm not looking for the short on this. That's about as much as I can say, but it needs to hold at 223 in that first 15 minutes after the open for me to want any longs in Netflix.
Yeah, I finally sold something that actually went down. So I sold Netflix at 228 and only sold half of my position. But again, I don't think, honestly, I thought when they were going to add supported, so I only know what's in our notes. It was 15.49. Is that in our notes or did I read that somewhere else? Yeah, it's in our notes. Yeah, so It's going down to $7 and $9, so that's what's in our notes. But I did read somewhere else that it's $15.49 right now, I guess, for the basic Netflix plan. I don't think that includes like the HD or whatever it is, or 4K. I don't know what the heck it is. That's the basic plan. So to go down to 7 and 9 is not even close to far enough. Like, to me, I thought the ad-supported were going to be like $5. Like, I honestly thought, you know, if I'm going to have to sit through, and I don't know the amount of ads that'll be shown, right? If it's going to be like a 30-second ad and then I can watch all of Stranger Things, like one whole episode, then I think that's fine. And for $5, you know, if you're going to go down in price, I think that's worth it. And I think that sort of starts a different discussion with, you know, different, you know, Southeast Asia, some of the markets that they're not prominent in, Brazil, South America, that has huge populations that possibly don't have the same disposable income that we do here in North America. I thought that was going to be the driver for Netflix, but honestly, $7 to $9 still seems pricey to me. Like, I'm still sitting here, I'm probably paying $25 a month. I have no idea, but I just think that in order for Netflix to grow, it's not me, the consumer, that they need. It's the others to bring on board, and I just don't think that that's good enough. And then there's the break, 225. This is a 20-minute chart here, goes all the way back to August 1st, and you're now starting to go below. Obviously selling at 228, or I must have sold a little bit higher than that, because I feel like 228 was just here on Friday. Oh yeah, it must have been. Yeah, that's probably about right, actually. So selling it here, definitely didn't take advantage of everything up here, up to 250, but you're now starting to break below, so we'll have to find some Netflix shorts, but this is not a name that I'd be buying right now. I mean, you could retest the 200 again, $200, not the 200 period. You can just, you know, gravitate back down into that name. So $5 off of it today, $5 off of it tomorrow, and you're back down to 210. So Netflix, I think, remains pretty weak and definitely on the look for a short. So fade the pops, in my opinion, on Netflix as well. Not enough, not far enough on that pricing there, Brendo.
Yeah, and you know it's not staying at $7 to $9 either. Nerve, remember Friday had a monster day, all the way to 11.5, very, very strong, even as the market was falling on its face. Down this morning, we're kind of stuck in the middle, however. This was support throughout the midday, which is $9, and then above that, 11.50 was that high. So needs to try and test either one of those outside edges before it's worth a look. But stuck in the middle right now for this NERV.
I just want to thank Shane for the super chat there. Across the pond, as it seems, because that was in pounds. Yeah, you're asking about Apron. Very strong bounce. It was getting crushed, gapping down, like you said, 15%, and now only down 2%. What happened is, I think everyone looks at the same chart. We talked about this. It's had this big level at 475 the last couple of weeks, where it broke out from and found support, and it just absolutely reversed off of this. What I'd like to see, if you're going to look for strength in another small cap, would be holding the next higher low that was significant, which is about 515 on any kind of a dip. It doesn't have a ton of pre-market volume, so it might have just been there wasn't enough volume to take it down through that level. On any pullback, I want to see it hold a higher low. If it gets there again, I think it's asking a lot for it to bounce off the exact same price like it did before. I'm also watching Vinco Ventures, which I think, Brendan already sort of mentioned this one. You can probably guess what I like about this today. It's on the NASDAQ. Holding if it can hold that dollar level. It's had some trouble doing so. It's been below, got to like 98 cents, been up to 105. But if it can start to hold that $1 level, got a couple of higher lows. It has been talked a lot on, I think it was like Wall Street Bets all weekend for this name. And yeah, they had to. There was a judge ruled that they had to have co-CEOs, and that was seen as a little bit of a win for the company by some in the online community. Either way, I just want to play off this $1 level. It's been a bit of chop in between. Hopefully today you can have a clear support. 95 seems like a reasonable out, and then it even has a 107, 108 type breakout style trade. But I'd much rather be playing off a buck at the open. For now, the volume is relatively light and it's right beneath that, so I have to wait for this to open up to catch some juice. And that drug broke down back below 3 even, and that's not the only other one. It is also OLG that I want to be watching in the small cap space. Whoops. Come on, OLG. That is New York one, I guess. No. OLG, it's OLB. You know why I'm thinking? I know why I'm thinking, because I'm like, OLG, because Ontario... It's because it's Ontario Lottery Gaming, and I'm like, okay, yeah, OLG. But OLB is already through 240. Looks like it's challenging 250. I got my dip buy for 225, but that's starting to get away from me here as this continues to get strong. I like 25 for first support, then 2 even. I'll take both those longs on OLB, not OLG.
So we're already in. We just shorted Amazon. We want to talk about this up to 130. I mean, I'll be, like I said, I'll be wrong on this name. I want to see it take down that 131 level where we basically closed on Friday. So if we do that, then good on Amazon, and we'll get out, and then we'll reassess it. So we're going to watch out for that 130. Well, that doesn't look good on that one. This 131 break, and then, I mean, we're going to notice that there was also 133 here is a level, but, you know, I don't want, like, I can't go short here now and then average in and then like if it goes up to 133, that would be crushed. Okay, with only 15 seconds left, we didn't even look at the imbalance locator, but there's nothing on there. CCL, sell, everything's a sell. Every single thing is a sell here on the imbalance locator except for HIL. So let's go here. Amazon with only 3, 2, Tony. All right, a little late one there. What up to Tony there? We missed Tony at Prad's Barbecue there. I don't know, maybe next time there, Tony the Tiger. Okay, Amazon with a nice little move downside. We are short 129.80. Let's see where we go.
Yeah, Pinduoduo just made a power move through that 65 level. Also, NVIDIA testing above that 160 that I like. And I want to go to Affirm because I didn't get a chance to talk about wanting to short Affirm. Affirm 24 bottom, 24 it's in front of right now. I'm shorting 24 first, and then I'm shorting 25 if it gets there.
No.
Yeah, watch out. Some of the lots of volume comes right in at the open, and then you can get some funky quotes.
Yeah, we went short. We did not. I thought the price was different than this, so we tried to go short on AMD. We're now short below 90. That's fine. It was a small position. We're letting this thing run up to the upside. Neil mentioned NVIDIA, so I was like, oh, I got to go over to AMD, and I thought it was tanking, but it was not. But here it comes up to the upside. That's fine. We have a very, very small position. We're looking to average in. Our Amazon did go nicely into the money there, went all the way down to 129.40, which I was sitting at and canceled. So I should be out of some of this, but I am not, as the market starts to go back upside, man, from here. So let's wait to see where we go. The market's starting to take off. Oops, we got to go over to Amazon. There's another fill there on Amazon. We're going to watch out for this 131. It's creeping up a little faster than I'd hoped here as this market's starting to go. So there we go. Now we got our real position here on AMD and on Amazon. Let's see where this market wants to go from here, guys.
Yeah, I just saw 162 on NVIDIA, so it did get to yesterday's price. Did get to Friday's close, I should say. Sorry, not yesterday. Friday's close at 162 at 60. If it turns from there, I'll look for that curl. I'm now into Affirm. Tesla is making a bit of a bounce to the upside, but it's got some ways to go. It did put a wick off top through that 284 where there was a seller all morning. It feels like that has to be the level instead of that 286. I'll get back to the 286 if we get a chance. But Bed Bath & Beyond is the only long that we have on right now, and it's starting to dip back into 11. So I'm only buying in front of 11 on this name. Affirm starting to roll over. That's going to work in the money here. And then there's that curl I was looking for. So NVIDIA is starting to reject that 262 level. I'll work into the short off that curl on NVIDIA, and OLB came in. That's the other small cap long.
All right, so this is funny, man, because like we just got out at 129.80, and then we got more short here at 130.40 again for us, or sorry, 130.20 on Amazon. Like, you want to talk about a name that is wild right now. Amazon is just crazy. Like, we just got a 129.80. Now it's bouncing back to the upside. Look at the market, though. The market is taking off right now, so this is fine. Because I'm short this name, let me go over and look at Meta. So it's not fine that the market's going up. Meta 161.50. I think I'm going to pull away from Meta right now, just because if the market again continues to rally, then I'll get crushed on Amazon and on AMD. So let's not add Meta to that pile. We will look back at this once it starts to go, hopefully in our favor. Amazon, once that goes, then we can look over at Meta. But I don't want to be short the wrong name. That's the other thing. Palantir does make a move up. I was trying to short this through $8. You can see here's the $8 level right here. It dropped below, and now we're staying underneath. But right now, Palantir not giving us anything close. I'm at $7.90 for this one. All right, Amazon. I mean, I'm sitting here, so let's try to do our thing now. Short Amazon, short AMD.
Yeah, and there goes first leg. We were able to get some on OLB. I went long in front of 225, 228. Take the first 10-cent bounce, but 250 is the obvious line in the sand. 250, it rejected that off the open. I like 225, so 250 makes sense as a bit of a resistance level. Tesla doesn't feel like it wants to make that challenge. The rest of the market actually bouncing, and Tesla doesn't even want to challenge that 284 anymore. That has to be the level. I'll wait for that price before I get into any shorts. But NVIDIA starting to churn back to that upside. It closed at 182.60. So we get past that, and that'll be that first out for me, where I'll take the shot, and then if we can't hold this level, I'm going to get out of NVIDIA. Affirm is making a bit of a power move as well, so the market does seem to wants to head upside there. Ooh, I just get wicked out. No, NVIDIA didn't break to one. You know what, I'm getting right back in. NVIDIA did not just break 162.60. I got a bad trigger there. Brendo?
A couple of low float names from last week starting to move already, guys. STBX, Chinese fintech. Starbucks, back to the upside here through 6. Right out of the gate, that JZ as well. Also starting to test highs once again.
Oh, it did break it. Okay.
Briefly, though. Yeah, so his levels are breaking over there. Mine are breaking to the upside as well. We just got out of some of Amazon, like we said. I got out of half. Wrong chart. As Amazon just kept on ripping up, I mean, I guess the short is not working out. I mean, as far as I can see right now. So we'll wait on it. Like I said, I'm still trying to be a little bit bearish. Yeah, of course you break. Let's go back to the downside now. I'm going to short more Amazon there. It did break above that 131.50. I guess is really the key there. NVIDIA now 162.50. AMD is a short as well. Yeah, AMD is trying to break as well, up to 91 right now. So that's going to be a key level. I'm going to wait till 91.50 or even 92 on AMD. But again, like maybe they've now figured this out, and like Jackson Hole, they've done their research, and maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, but we'll wait again. A little more short here in AMD now, as it's not really ripping here. So still staying negative, and still kind of in the range. I mean, this is up to 91. It's still in my range here. I want to get more short, and then I want to get out of this if it breaks 92. I mean, I'm trying to stay in this if I can, but the market's really rallying now. So this is a little scary here to watch out for these prices, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be wrong bad, but so far we're not right. So, yeah, we'll have to wait for Amazon to come back. I like my price on Amazon, even though it's up to 131, possibly getting some more short. But you don't want to just put all your eggs in one basket here. I mean, if this market wants to rip, then it goes upside. So, let's wait to see here. There we go. Palantir on a rip as well. We just got short ahead of 8. Ooh, man. We're really getting these shorts.
I'm telling you, man, like this is it. The only longs I got are small caps, and they're bouncing decently here. But wow, 223, that Netflix level should have just looked right over to this. Once everything started going to the upside, I mean, I'm not out of firm just yet, but it's getting pretty close. Obviously, NVIDIA stopped out, but right above that previous close, Netflix is now just booming. There might be a chance that there's a dip buy in there that gives me that 223 level. The other one that's starting to go, PDD Pinduoduo broke that 65. So we need to get above that price. It's now firmly above that 65 level. Watch out, double top here at 67.50. That could be another one of those double top breaks on Pinduoduo. It's got size at 67 even, but pre-market high was at 67.5. I want to try the dip into 65 even, or just look for that top end breakout. If firm is about to go, so I'm gonna have to give that one up. And then Bed Bath & Beyond was about to churn. I just got some out at 11.35, and it's right back testing that 11 level. So support getting put to the test here on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm going to reload again in front of 11 even. You have that pre-market low as support.
Yeah, I feel like everything right now is getting tested big time, at least in my account over here. I mean, AMD up to 91, Amazon looking at 132. Like, definitely did not think that this was going to happen today. So we did get out. Remember I told you, like, on a 131 break, we got out because at least it allow us to start to average in a little bit here. So that's what we're trying to do, man. I mean, it's a hit, but we got out of some of them, so it's not so bad. I still like this short. I mean, I'm not going to try to convince everyone to get into it because the short doesn't seem like it's going to be right here, and that's not what we do. I'm just looking at this level here of 133, and I don't think we take it out, man. I mean, the consumer's not strong. In fact, it's weak in my opinion. The retail hasn't been great. We did get a good report there from Gap, but whatever, man. I mean, I feel like this move is going to happen to the downside. So I'm into Amazon, and net, here we go. Now our net is much easier to deal with here as this market's trying to fade out a little bit more again. So yeah, so far so good here. Let's try to hold on to some of these shorts. AMD, Amazon, they're all here, and we're ready to go. And there goes Palantir back to 90. So this seems like a decent short. Let's just take a piece out here on Palantir because why not? I mean, I've got to make some wins if this market's going to pull back a little bit.
Yeah, and Tesla just made that break, so it got up to 285.5, touched 286. That's the level I wanted to wait for on Tesla. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start finally working into this one to the south side. I'll like a few names for dip buys if we're going to be strong. I like that Netflix if we can get a shot at it, and of course Pinduoduo could come back into play for us. But I wanted to wait out for Tesla just a little bit there, and I wanted to make sure I don't want to ignore OLB. OLB bounced off 225, gave me fills 35, 39 as well. Now it's dipping right back into that 225 level. So it looks like this does want to test $2. The next dip buy for me is going to be waiting around for that $2 level. I think there's a solid consolidation. It did that significantly, like all afternoon on Friday. You were seeing it bounce off previous breakout support. So that'll be $2 for me on OLB, as we're now into some Tesla and want to be working back Bed Bath & Beyond. This starting to fall under pressure as it could take out that pre-market low. So market trying to go up. A couple of these small caps, which look good, giving us some dip buys, now testing those lows, unfortunately.
Yeah, so here we go. I'm pretty happy with these lows right now, but I like to get a lot lower. Let's test some pre-market lows first right here. So a nice little take there on AMD. This was a mistake. I thought the prices were wrong. We talked about that when we got it. It was a very, very small trade. We never want to take that really early on AMD. So realistically, the prices that we had written down here was 91 and 92 on the sticky note. So that's what we're trying to deal with right now. As here it comes. Here we go. Yes, sir. A nice little move down here on AMD. All right. We just got filled at 57, and then it went to 80. Must have been a number that just came out there. What's up, Brendo?
Another little one making moves here. 12% for CMRX, new contract, research contract for them. For monkeypox, they already have a antiviral in that space, but new contract for them for monkeypox vaccine.
What the heck?
Watch out, Pinduoduo is getting real close to that break. It's going to double check my order to make sure we have that stop in. I'm going to cross it up an extra few pennies there because the last couple of times on breakouts, I've been missing those levels. Tesla just tested 87s. Looks like it's going to try to blow through that 87 level pretty cleanly. The shorts, they're not coming in, man. It looks like it's going to be a long type of day, and I don't want to be caught only trying to buy dips, but that's how it feels like for me. Pinduoduo, we're looking for the break. Maybe we get it. Netflix continues to absolutely churn. Like it doesn't even seem like it wants to slow down here. I don't think we're going to catch 23s. Got to look back. VWAP will be potential dips if we can even get it at this point. A couple of small caps trying to hold on to their bids. But at this point, it is jailbreak city to the upside, and you got to start thinking about where you can grab some of these longs. I don't think we're going to get too much of a dip until maybe even like 10 o'clock. It's been like 5 minutes here solidly off the open. PDD just made the break through 67.50, so let's see if that one can continue to go double top action on Pinduoduo. And I got to check back in just to quickly see what Alibaba is doing. We know that when these names start to go, Alibaba at times, yeah, there it is. Alibaba back to that $100 level, so I have to watch that closely. If this does not hold 100, PDD could come back pretty sharply on me. Always want to know what the leader is doing, and the leader for me in the Chinese group is always Baba.
Yeah, for sure. Alibaba's a big one. Neo, another one if you want to look at that, for sure is another name. But yeah, we are getting we're getting Amazon right now. What's up to Jeff Bezos? This is just continuing its march to the upside. Now turns positive 1%. So, I mean, we really hit this short on Friday, but today it is gaining some revenge on us now because this is starting to take out 132. We're going to have to get something out if it cracks through 132, which it looks like it's going to do any minute now. We've averaged into AMD. We took a little bit of profit. Palantir's still fine. We took some profit down there at 90, thank God. But there goes Amazon, man. It was not expecting this one. The market started to come back, and then now it's going to turn green, the NASDAQ. Wow. I did not see this one, but hey, the long-term account's fine. Here, not so much, Brendo.
Some of the ARC names popping up on volume, guys. Even ARC itself popping up on a volume scanner right now through 43 back to the upside. DNA, remember Ginkgo Bioworks, their latest pickup on Friday.
Oh yeah, forgot to look at DNA. We'll definitely want to make sure I get to that one. Just going back over to Nvidia, because we did get the stop out at Nvidia. Now it wants to curl at 163. So I'm just pulling up the 15-minute. You do have this 164 level, which could still be in play. I think it has to maybe sustain this previous close and then work towards that breakout. So it has to hold this 162.5 area for me to think that there's a long into that level. But the market's now starting to come back in. This is what we're looking for here as the market tries to come back into that downside. So the shorts maybe coming back into play here. He was able to get some Tesla off the top there. And then just keep an eye on those Chinese names because Pinduoduo, and that market move down just now, like I saw NVIDIA go back $1. PDD just made another leg to the upside. So it looks like it's going counter trend, some of the Chinese names there. PDD, of course, had the good earnings. 68, a huge offer at 68. It just got some out in front of that. If it breaks, I think we can head to 70. But that 69.70 on the daily, that's resistance on Pinduoduo.
Okay, so we're short Tesla right now as well, 286.70. We'll try that. I mean, I'm short everything right now. AMD, Amazon, Palantir, Tesla. We're in the big boys right now. And the only one that went down, you might have heard me there, was 90.50 downside for AMD. So that name really started to collapse there. And I was like, wow, here we go. We got it. Look at that bid. We got 90.38. What? I cannot believe we were able to get that short or that out on our short. So AMD right now, finally that one we could say WTF to because it's coming back down into the downside. So that one looks like it wants to fail stronger than everything else. I mean, everything that I have anyways. Amazon, okay, Amazon, I see you. And you're a little more friendly right now. I mean, this little friendly fire here. Let's see if Amazon can come back down in. It just stopped at 131.40. So I don't know. I'll put 5% there. Let's just take out a little bit here if it does continue to crack down. I mean, we're trying to win on these positions, not like just gain back what we've lost. Like, let's see if this market will eventually come back to the downside. But you could be wrong a lot in this market, and it's very humbling. So you got to make sure that, you know, when things start, there we go. Come on. Yeah, buddy. When this starts happening, that we're able to, again, capture profit, take trades where we want them to, and then let them work out for us. So that's like what we're trying to do right now. Palantir, not really moving. That's 5 pennies in the money, whatever. We'll wait for that. But AMD came again, and there's another fill for us in the 50 area. That was actually 50 flat, so that's a good one. We'll see if it can take down the 50 period and then cruise back into like 90, like high 90s. This pre-market area, the market is coming back down, so we want to take a little bit of profit off and at least reward it. See that? And at least reward ourselves a little bit. Like that was, we just got filled at 90 and it ripped back to 75. So yikes, man. Tesla out at 288 if we're wrong.
Yeah, well, 288.09 is where it closed. If it wants to go green on the session, I'll give that one up. But like you said, like I had a bid at Tesla just now, and it bounced off that by $1. I want to get to Peloton. Did forget about Peloton. It immediately broke resistance right at the open, that 1065. So it's churning into this last dish. It's 11 to 11.15 here. I like Peloton for sure. It's below these prices all week, and I still like the 10 break. But you know, Friday had and Thursday as well this 11.25, which is going to be the level on Peloton. If it breaks through that, you can see a bit of a run. Pinduoduo just came back on me a bit, and I watch Alibaba. It looks like this is giving up that $100 level, at least temporarily. If it gets back above 100, I think Pinduoduo could be a hold almost all day. But that looks like a little head and shoulders forming on Baba at 101. So it's going to need some help. At least Pinduoduo is going to need some help if it wants to be a runner for me. Brendo?
Big week last week for some of the solar names. Here's JKS, guys. Goldman Sachs with the price target increase on JKS back to 35. So straight higher, up 6% for Jinko today.
All right. And now everything, yeah, exactly. Everything right now in the money. We'll fire off the sausage cannon right there and do a couple backflips because our patience so far paying off right now for that. There it comes. Nice little take. Here comes Amazon. Amazon breaks through 131. So I thought I had a bid there, but I did not. So we'll put another bid there to take that. Ooh, it does not. I thought I was bidding something at 131. I guess I was not, but now that I look at it, my bid was at 129.02, not 131.02. So, okay, as it comes back down in here, let's see who blinks first, man, the shorts or the longs. Right now, Tesla's $1 in the money. I feel like I don't want to get anything out on this one, especially if the market does crank lower. Here we go. Come on, Amazon. You can do it. Where's my fill still? I guess I did not put one out. I'm going to have to put another bid out there on Amazon to get out of some of this. There it is. There's our 04. We just put a bid out and got it. So now comes Amazon back down to the downside. We're gonna hit this one real good, man. Tesla, yes, $2 now in the money as Tesla comes down. There comes AMD to the downside. Here comes Palantir. Not so much. Down to the downside. So far so good here. Yes, sir. Our account turns green finally after making back this hit there. This is the only stock we got out was Amazon early, and then there it comes right back down to the downside. So far so good here, but wow, still lots of time to go. It's 9:48. You're welcome, Daryl Flinch, and for you too. Hit that banger on Amazon. Yes, sir. Here we go to the downside. Come on, Amazon. You can do this.
Yeah, just give me a quick second. All of my crap just minimized, but I think I got like Okay, I got Peloton
Oh, yeah.
up. So Peloton, I did get into it. It made that curl wick off top. I just got 180s into or 1080s into the short. Now it's testing back into 1060. Obviously, you can see like everything coming back into the short side. So Tesla back in the money. I've got a firm still to the short that's going to end up working. Even the small caps, Bed Bath & Beyond looks like that long could stop out. The only thing working long still would be, I guess, Pinduoduo, which makes sense because they had the big earnings beat. But I'm going to load the rest of my charts, which that minimize thing happened, and it wasn't the shake thing.
Oh, baby. This is quite the turnaround orchestrated by I don't know who. But we're happy to have this to the downside right now, man. We got a big time win on right now. Bang, bang, and more bangs. This is like finally, man, we were able to hold on to our shares, and now this is what we're talking about, man. The casino is open. We kicked that door down. They took our money away from us initially, right? So like we went over to the blackjack table, we got a couple bad beats, but there we just made it back, man. You stick, you got to hit on the right numbers. You stand here. Come on, Amazon. Let's go back in. Let's give us that 130, baby, if we can get that. This is 70 cents in the money on AMD as we're starting to crack that lower. That's been a good trade for us. Tesla's only $4, or actually only $3 in the money. We're trying to make a little bit more on that one. And then, of course, Palantir. You know what? What's up, Henry? We're going to take some 88s here if we can get those on the way down in. Hopefully, that'll crack down through there. We'll get some 88s. And then we'll look for, we got some 88s. And then we'll look for, we must have been sitting there. Yeah, that makes sense, right? 87. So we'll now put some orders even lower there because sometimes you get the fills when you don't notice them. And here's the market. There's the bounce back up. So you got to cash out some of these names, right? I mean, that's why, look what AMD just did, by the way. Like, that's why you cash some out. AMD goes all the way back up to the upside here. Wow, big market reversal right there. I'm going to short some more.
Yeah, you got to watch out. These reversals have been pretty violent. I don't want to ignore Drug. Drug pulled back into 270. Looks like it's bouncing off that level. Got a bit of a double bottom. It's the only small cap that we had on our watch that I hadn't been looking at. But look at this 270 double bottom. That could be worth a long. Like I said, Tesla, I think you already covered that one, did make a bit of a bounce there. Bed Bath & Beyond just held the pre-market low. So now I want to add back into it. I went long in front of 11. It held the pre-market low. I'll give it one more shot here, get in front of that bid to see if this can be a continued run into that upside. And then do not want to ignore what is going on in some of the big caps. We ignored a few of the big caps, but NVIDIA, which was that stop at the open, took out that high. You're now actually holding the 165. So you're getting a bit of a consolidation up at the top, setting up for a potential breakout through that high of the day on NVIDIA. I'm still not favoring the long unless you break that top. It's a 260, so 163.5 on NVIDIA. If it gets through that, I think it's got all the room in the world to be able to make a bit of a jailbreak. Just given how big the gap was or the move was to that downside, it wouldn't take much. And it's a short in front of it, but 163.50, I would not be holding through that. PDD is starting to be some concern. Like it's consolidating, but it's not really busting out from that 67.50. It got through 68. Went to the quarter, gave you 75 pennies of profit, which is nothing on Pinduoduo, and now wants to head back in. I'm going to tighten my stop up. I'd have given it to past 65, so 67 even earlier. At this point, I kind of think I don't want it going past break even at 67.5. Baba giving me some pause as well.
Yeah, we are just absolutely hammering right now Tesla. I mean, that was a great trade up there at the high side there. Now, $3 in the money, shorted that 287. Didn't see it up there at 288, was shorting everything else, but when that started to rip upside, I knew I wanted short Tesla, and I wanted 280 break, so we got to wait for that to come through before I do anything. I'd probably put a bid down here, 280, like 281.50, something like that, just in case we don't break, but I still feel like we do. AMD, we missed that first reload up there at 70 because I literally hit offer enter and then the market tanked again. So we'll take that into us there at 67. Yes, sir. Let's just take a bid out at 39. Why not do that? Wow. This is how this market's moving, man. Look at that AMD short. One minute, 90.70 short. Same minute, out some at 90.38. So, and still cranking lower here on AMD. So yeah, let's put a bid in the 20s here. If we can we get a 21 on here? Can I hear a 21 bid for AMD? Can we get that fill? Here it comes back down to the downside, 90.21. Yes, sir, there it is. We'll hit the bangers again as we turn Greensville today. Yeah, welcome to Greensville. It's the water's pretty warm today, actually, as this market comes back down in. We were sweating a little bit here early, But let's see if we can hold on to this and capture some of this to the downside, right? Like Palantir still needs to break, baby. Like that can go. Tesla still needs to break, in my opinion. Like I have a $4 winner on Tesla and I'm not even looking at it. AMD to the downside. Hopefully that can come through. Amazon's now 50 cents in the money and that's battling. Like that deserves to be a little bit lower. So let's go over to Brendan and get some more names.
GL, big mover last week, big mover to the downside on Friday, let's be honest. Trying to bounce here, but having trouble with these levels from late in the day. 650, 675 from Friday for Megal, guys.
Megal or Schmiegel, whatever you want to call it. I'm out of PDD here. I just didn't want to get caught at the top when it looked like it was putting a bit of a reversal. Maybe it's a little bit too tepid, and maybe I like the shorts too much. It could easily be that, but it ticked back out of the money for just a brief second, and I'm going to get out of that one. But I got to work back over to BBBY, which is making... I didn't get that ad, unfortunately. I was unable to add at $11. It's back up to VWAP. It had struggled there before, so I want to make sure I'm taking some profit out. In the market was booming at the open, and Bed Bath & Beyond decided to sell off into support. And now when the market's coming back in, this seems to want to bounce. I don't know if this is some kind of weird counter trend thing happening on Bed Bath & Beyond, but that's at least what I'm noticing. Peloton here, that was the other short that we were able to get. Got some out at 1065. It's right back up toward those, I want to say, like resistance levels from Friday when you had that 1072. If it curls off 11, I'll look to add to this short off of $11 on Peloton here. But that was a bit of a late addition on that market strength. We're going to get the reload now, Brendo.
Bristol Myers having a bit of a tricky day here. Here's BMY down on a missed trial for stroke treatment. So 5% almost here. Just made a day low. Keep seeing this popping up on heavy volume to the downside for BMY.
Oh, yeah.
Bristol Myers. Okay. This could start to get nasty against me again if this market continues to sort of bounce around here. I want to remain. I haven't gone long today, so again. Okay, guys, making sure that that's a bear, not a bull, behind me right now. We're going to still stay in these positions. I still believe in them, and I still think they're half decent. One name that we haven't really looked at yet is going to be Snowflake. That already took down. This is what, I feel like Palantir should be following here. Snowflake with a great report last week, and definitely, I think Tony the Tiger was talking about this a little bit on Friday, how he doesn't believe in this company whatsoever. We went long. It was okay on Friday, long off these 196s, but now you're starting to dump in here on Snowflake. Pretty aggressive move to the downside, that 188.50 right there. Looking at that, we should have shorted this name instead of Palantir, but Snowflake definitely straight up downside movement right now. So that's a name that you might want to look at, just trying to take down this 190, which it's done, but down here 186, 185, sort of where that earnings power started. All right, here comes Amazon retesting me again here up to the upside. So Amazon, nice little retest. That's where we wanted that reload, around these 20s. So now we've got it again. Now we're reloaded back to the upside in Amazon. And that 282.50 there, that was the pre-market bottom for Tesla. That would have looked pretty sweet. Like Prad said, painting the tape for Twitter here. 282.50. I think we should probably take that next time it comes back down. This is not going to be, it is a day maker for me, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it can easily rip back up, and then we're going to be short everything. So let's watch out for Tesla. I still believe in it. I'm not going to put a bid there, but if it does crack lower next time and holds, then I think we're going to get out. But right now, good reload on Amazon. Let's just see where it goes.
Yeah, and I guess I'd say the same thing about Tesla, except for the fact that if it holds below 284, that pre-market level of resistance, then this could really challenge that 280 level to that downside. Obviously, you're going to have to weather the storm of the NASDAQ making a push at that 12.6. Again, we get through that, you could be headed to Greensville. That 12.6 is going to be a big level for the NASDAQ. Pinduo Duo, yeah, probably got out of that one a little bit too tight. And that can happen when you have a bit of a bias. It just put a wick off top through 68. So this could be, that actually looks like this could be a wick off top and a potential short opportunity for PDD. I wanted out of the long when it failed to break at 67.50, but if it can't reclaim 68 quarter, it looks like it just rejected that last breakout. This could be the short on Pinduo Duo if it holds below 68 even. Currently, I'm getting a bit of a battle here. It just got back up to 68 quarter. If it holds below 68, that's where I want to short. I don't want to be shorting into that high of the day. I want it failing that high of the day beneath 68 and then jump into the short on PDD. Bed Bath & Beyond looks like it's going to be giving it up a little bit here. So unfortunately, that one could be taking the L as Bed Bath & Beyond's going to the lows, while the other meme stock that I'm not even remotely paying attention to as PDD breaks the high, AMC just went green on the session. Where's that strength in Bed Bath & Beyond? Apparently, I'm in the wrong meme today. Should be AMC, it looks like.
All right, yeah, craziness. I can't believe Palantir's not dropping even more than this. No L's over here yet. We did drop some grenades early on Amazon, which we wound up getting out, but now we're back into this, and look at this. Look at that short we just took, man. Now we let this thing fall. Let's go. You guys want to take this down. Let's just keep on printing. Let's go. I don't even, like, my orders are just there. We're catching the falling money right now. They might have to kick me out of this casino. Let's see if this can continue to make a move to the downside, man. That's fine. We'll go, you know, right now we're chilling at the Bellagio. We can always go across the street. We'll go to the Venetian. But here it comes, a nice little move to the downside here. Hopefully we can hold this, man. Tesla's right back at that level, 283 again. So here it comes. Tesla marching right now. Oh, baby, one-time daily goal now met right now. So hopefully you guys have this. All we've done is short Amazon, short AMD, short Palantir, short Tesla. Every single name that's on this sticky note today is a winner. So that's so far so good. 4 names. The only name that we didn't look at was Meta short. I can only guess how good that is right now. It went up to 162. Those are some key levels that we were looking at. I was hoping we would hold below 160, but we're not there yet, so we'll stay away from Meta as we are at our highest spot. And there goes, look at Amazon, guys. Look at this move right back there. Take another profit piece. We're on one more time here today. Someone that's always looking really sharp and always on one. He's over there at the big screen. Nice shirt, Brennan. He and I close to the same.
They're almost the same.
Almost the same today. He's got the little red there. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, we didn't call each other apparently. Brought to you by, guys, Chart Prime. Trading View users, listen up. Chart Prime has automatic indicators that automatically find chart patterns for you, support and resistance zones, key levels of reversal as well. Check them out. Use the QR code on screen, guys. Shout out to Chart Prime coming on board today. Here we go. 0.6 for the S&P right now. The Dow 0.7. The Russell under pressure. Remember, Russell 2000 was very, very volatile last week. Not really doing a heck of a lot so far this morning. 0.7 to the downside. The composite and the 100. NASDAQ as well. All about the same. 0.65, 0.7 or thereabouts. Here's Netflix. Big move up. Apparently they like that. $7 to $9 a month pricing, because wow, straight higher out of the gate there for Netflix. Red to green and then some. Coinbase made that same move as well. Red to green and then some, coming back a little bit, but 65 holding there at the open, guys, for coin, even with Bitcoin still downside.
Yes, obviously we talked about that 20,000 level, which, by the way, remember at the open, there was that little push, or before the open, there was that little push. Holding above 20,000 is a pretty key metric. I haven't looked at coin. I kind of wanted to only trade that if Bitcoin was below 20,000. I was looking for shorts. Once we broke above, it's not a bias, but it is a bias. I only wanted the other direction. The firm keeps teetering, going green. It's managed to hold afternoon resistance up around that 25 level, but it can't seem to break VWAP, where I've been getting shares out. I look at this 23.5 and say we might not go any further than that, but the short's starting to pay off a little bit better. Peloton working its way back down, sitting in front of 1050, but it looks like 1060's got a bit of resistance on it, so we'll try to get some shares out there again. Peloton, Tesla working, and a firm. Bed Bath & Beyond, like I said, is the only thing I got left to that long slide after drug. Pulled the bid at 270 and now is holding higher. So I don't know if I'm going to get a shot at 270 again. Might have to step up and start thinking about the 280 level. And then the other was that OLB, was this small cap we're going long. I took the 225, got half out as it got up to 240, then stopped out at 220 the rest. Looking for that re-entry in front of 2 even. Looks like 210 is the support. I'm sitting in front of 205. Might step that one up in front of 210 to see if that small cap can get going again. But the market is putting that reversal on, so I want to hold on to those shorts. I'm looking long in a couple of small cap names and considering whether I want to add AMC to that list. I'm skeptical on AMC, but it did show some signs of strength.
Money. And that's for you, Sharif, big guy. It was nice to see Sharif there. Yeah, hey, Prad's in the building now, so what's up, Prad? Sharif, everybody there, and some of the boys in the back at Prad's house party there. What a nice dog Prad has. But I have to talk to him about his disciplining actions there. Shout out to Prad. What was your dog's name? Oh, he has Coco. Coco, right. Shout out to Coco there. Coco Beware, one of my favorite WWE
Old school, baby.
Old school wrestlers. Okay, I don't know. Have you guys seen what is happening with AMD today? The number one name on the sticky note, as that just continues to crank lower and lower and lower. Right now, as we've taken out the 200 period, we're below, and there goes AMD now down 1.5% as that still cranks lower. I just tweeted out, like, we shorted Tesla at the top, but where do we get out? I mean, there's that 282.50. I feel like I've stared that in the face just too many times. So, you know, to me, I think that that's going to be a good spot. We'll now probably I will put some out there, get something, because again, we've really shorted this name and we've liked the short, but you got to pay yourself. And I was hoping for a 280 run there. It doesn't. I mean, it went at 281.50 or 281.70. I was looking to see a run for 280 right there, but that doesn't happen. And then now the pain trade comes right back in because you're seeing it start to go back up a little bit. When I see that happen, let's get some more out on Amazon. There's a nice little out there on Amazon as that continues to fall back in. This was another name that we wrote it here short till 132. You're seeing where it went up to. It went to 130, 196 there, and we're sitting there shorting that one. So all right, we're going to get another chance now, I feel like, as this market's come back in here for Tesla. You can see the NASDAQ is below the 50 period. We just tested it. Now we're trying to go lower here. You know what? Let's just get out at 282.50 on Tesla and hold a little bit, because the thing is like, I'm already short this market. Like, I have AMD, which is 90 cents, $1 in the money. Palantir finally starting to go to the downside as well. We got an 85 bid there. So, you know, we got to reward ourselves. I'd hate to see this like day kind of disappear if we do pop back up. But yeah, damn it, Tesla again, trying to make a move. Oh, we just got to fill on something there. Oh, what? Oh my God, AMD just like, we just got a 60 fill there on AMD. Like, put it right at this pre-market low right there and get that fill. Like, okay, AMD, I think we found a name that we want to pick on, at least until this market turns around. It's Advanced Micro.
Yeah, I'm going to be hanging on a little bit longer to some of these as the market looks weak. But that 69 level on Pinduoduo, well, it got there. It got all the way to that 69. So if I held along, okay, great. That 67.50 could have worked out a little bit better. But it just tagged the high on a dime. I mean, exactly 69 even, and now consolidating. So I'm going to short it off that level. We knew if it got there, it was going to be a short. So we attempted the long. The real long was the 65 break. That's what I wrote down. That's what I talked about. I didn't get it at the open because I was getting into a bunch of shorts at the open. Quite frankly, those are working out, but that was one of the longs, the only long in big cap that I liked off 65. Now it's just a short off that 69 on the daily, Brendo.
Big volume spike for DWAC downside. Not a lot of volume behind this move anyways, but there was reports late last week of some financial trouble apparently for True Social already. They've come out this morning and said, nope, not true. Everything's fine. So heavy selling, you can see volume on DWAC downside.
That everything's fine and it's down.
Yeah, I guess everything
everything ain't fine.
Possibly
I guess
not fine there in DWAC land, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right, so I still want to hold Tesla, but it is making a move back up, and I'm seeing my net kind of not evaporate, obviously, but making that move back. That's still AMD, by the way. We got a 60. We talked about that, and that's still coming in. So I'm just wondering if there's just better shorts here to look at, right? So that's something. Let's go back over to Meta. I'm still going to try to hold it, guys. Like, I'm still trying to hold it. Meta up there, 162.50. If Pratt starts singing again, there's going to be a problem. And right now he's okay. Because I don't want to get out of my desk.
It's
he's
actually
not even that far away. I'm going to make.
He sounded way better last week. I'm just going to say.
Oh man!
No, you gotta throw something solid.
Throw something
man.
heavy there. I need like a slipper. That's why Arun had that cash money idea. That's okay. He sort of slowed down this. The problem is, like, I have to focus on the market, and then I have this dude singing.
There we go. I got his attention.
You got to lower your voice a little bit on the singing there. I mean, I really like it. It's really sweet, but you're trying to serenade people. It ain't this dude coming back in. But shout out to Prad. Thanks for the barbecue, as this is the first time I've had a chance to talk to him. But the thing is, when you get your headphones on and you're focused on trading, I don't want to interrupt the man. It's just trying to give some comedic relief here. You guys don't hear him sing on the midday show. I guess he has a couple times. Ask him to this time, and you'll hear what's good.
But he only does it when he has the headphones on.
That's the thing,
That's
right?
it.
He's
And you know
got-
who actually, you know what, I'm going to out him right now because Luca actually will do the same thing as well. I've heard Luca sort of get in his headspace, which is fine, man. Do whatever you got to do as a trader. A couple of things to note here. VWAP is a problem for Bed Bath & Beyond. On a 3-minute chart here, guys, it keeps on getting to this like 10, 11, 20, and then subtle reversals over and over and over again. We'll see if it can go. I tried to add the Pinduoduo on the short, have been unable to do so closer to that 69 level. Market trying to make a bit of a bounce here. If PDD breaks 69, I mean, I don't even know if I like it unless it breaks 70 even. The long was at 65. I can't bring myself to go long unless it's maybe through 70, but I'm short till then. Brendo?
A couple of things. Plus Therapeutics, PSTV, big mover last week, just popped up on an FDA note. There's also this one, Advanced Human Imaging, big move late in the day on Friday on a new service agreement for them. So AHI halted once already. It's trying to go again for this one.
Check AMC, boom, AMD puts. Yeah, I mean, I see what you guys are saying on the chat, man. You want to do boom AMD puts. Look what we have on here. We have Amazon short today. We have AMD short. We have Palantir short, and we have Tesla short written right on the board. And you're cashing in today on some of these plays. But Amazon still near the bottom. New trade alert, so we're going to hit that right now. Finally, another name for me. It's going to be JD. As it took down 64, we went short. Let's see if it can hold it. This is again going to be on a possibility that PDD comes back in a little bit of some of these Chinese names. Obviously catching a little bit of a bid here. This is not, if this doesn't work, man, we're out right here, 64.30. So I'll probably average in. This one, yeah, we should have just stuck with shorting the big cap tech names because they're just continuing to make moves to the downside, but not JD. So, JD, although you like to drink it a little bit with some Coke, this is coming back upside right now, 64.25. Definitely could have put something on there. We're going to hold this a little bit. Let's see if we go back down to these pre-market bottoms and then take a little bit of profit. So 63.50 I'll put a bid at right now. I don't think we're going to get it. It's about 40 cents worth of risk. Where am I short again? 93 right now. So yeah, not great. We're out of the money 20 cents, but we're going to give this to 30. So if it breaks through 30, then we're out. That's about 40 cents worth of risk. So yeah, we do got to take something out at 63.50.
Yeah, and I wish this wick was true on Pinduoduo because that means we'd be breaking VWAP. It's still consolidating off the top, but some selling really starting to come in. It can't seem to break that 68, and I do want to add a little bit here around 68.50, but 67, 66, those will be two levels where I got to be on the bid to take profits. I've been resisting putting a bid in because it's felt like, we had this chance. I'm going to pull the market up for a second. It's felt like we've had a chance to continue this whole trend of like wick off top, consolidate lower, and then fall through. I even look at the ES, and it's a very similar thing here, where you broke the top, and you're having some trouble after wick top, having some trouble getting through. And if we reject and put in a lower high, I just think things could fall apart a little bit. That's why I haven't had any bids out on PDD because it's up so far. If it comes back down, I think it could be ugly. I just got OLB, said it right? Yes. In front of $2. So this is that last ditch. I tried the 225. It was okay. Then we stopped there at 20s. Now I'm long in front of $2. If this breaks 2 even, I'll have to give up this small cap. As Bed Bath & Beyond now starting to go to the upside, I need OLB to do the same thing for me here. But BBBY finally making that power move that I've been waiting for off 11.
Yeah, I saw someone there. I don't know who that was. What's up, Dave Campbell? Palantir making a move back up. I mean, not really, but I just took some more out at 85 because we are starting. The market right now is starting to blow back to the upside. So obviously, we don't ever wind up taking enough. Well, we did. This time we actually took enough profit. We took some profit. Oh, wow. Look at Amazon. This market really right now starting to get going again. So maybe that short, is not the greatest now, but I'm going to look at it again and try to just short a little bit more up here on that rip up for Amazon. So I still believe in the short. I don't know. Not much has changed for me. The market, I just looked down. I don't really see any new headlines or anything. Oh, that was a missed opportunity up there at 131. It got to 130.90 there on that play. That's too bad. Like we just got some out. Like we got some out at 130.19. We got some out at 130.30. We got another piece out at 130.40. And then it just ripped up against us. Should have been able to short that again. We got back into the JD short now, and I'm just going to play it against that 50 mark. It still may not be good. I still feel like we can trap this one. So we'll go short again here. Little bit of a loss there on that one, but still not small. 10% of our day we lost right there on JD. So I'd like to have it back, but we're going to short again here and see if we can't make that, which I believe we can. And then Tesla, really the missed opportunity down there at 280, 250. So we'll look to reshort that, but it's got to get back up to 288. Give us some more, Brendo.
A ton of strength in oil names right now, guys. The IEA head saying a further strategic petroleum reserve release is not off the table. So crude now 3.5%. Here's Oxy, just took out day highs on that note, now close to 4% anyways.
I checked over and was like, oh, well, is Indo going? And it's not. So that's a little bit, I'd say, disappointing on that strength. And I'm not seeing INDO just chop around sideways. When I see a small cap doing this, it's like, nah, man. You need to be breaking out or giving you solid entries, not that whipsaw action. I don't want to see it. We'll be excited about PDD because, oddly enough, that's starting to come back in. And we talked about sort of getting a reload at 68.50 and then making sure we at least paid ourselves. So I grabbed the 50 pennies when it took down 68. I'm still in front of 67 for a bit of a dip into VWAP. I was about to get excited about Bed Bath & Beyond because I got to fill at 20s and it looked like it was churning through VWAP. Nah, still resisting VWAP. It's in the money, but it just doesn't want to go. And then OLB, which is trying to bounce off 2 even, it just got back above that 210. So I'm going to start taking shares out in front of VWAP, just like Bed Bath & Beyond. Pay myself. And that way, if it trends to the downside, at least we can get a little something out of it. Firm continues to fall, but cannot break 24. Peloton, however, can't seem to hold above VWAP. It just put at a wick top through 1085. It just put a wick top through 1075 as well. So this is continuing its trend back into that downside. And we haven't looked at this one pretty much all morning long, but if you want the market to fall, you kind of need Apple to fall. This is what Apple is doing. If you wonder why we're holding up in this market, Apple just printing off of VWAP, and it's going maybe 30 or 40 cents at a time at this point, but it is holding the line like an absolute champion. Apple gets below 160, 160, and it's kaputs, I think, anyways. Can hang on to these shorts, but if we break this level, I think it's going to be all kinds of momentum to the downside. It works both ways. The longer Apple holds out here, the more I'm going to want to pay myself out on some of these shorts because market's not going to drop very far without Apple breaking that support level. Brendo?
Speaking of Apple, here's GSAT. Remember, Global Star, apparently at this September 7th event for Apple, there's going to be some news on satellite integration in the new iPhone 14 with GSAT, guys.
All right. Big move upside right now in this market. Good, like we just got again, AMD comes down to $89, so we'll take that bid again, ringing the register on $1.70 or $1.70 or $1.60 there on that short. Sorry, so that was a good trade there for us, $1.60 in the money. But JD started to go back up, and then we have reloaded Amazon now as that's really starting to go back up to the upside. So watch out. The market may have just made its move down. So was able to capture the profit on that move down, but again, you don't really need to get blown out here on an upside move now. So try to be as patient as we can with this. As I'm looking at Amazon, we just did take another short, but that 132 is pretty spicy, man, up there. So if it takes that out, then we're going to be in a world of trouble. So watch out for Amazon, possibly for that reload down there. But look at this move, nice little move, big move. Right now back up to the upside. We were just below, and then it just took 3 minutes to get almost all the way back to the day's high in the market again. So I'm going to still try to believe in this short, but for right now, this market turned around pretty hardcore right there.
Oh, it did, and I'm about to get, we'll see. If 69 breaks, obviously I'm going to get stopped out. I reloaded a PDD at 68.50, but that 69 is my line in the sand. Bed Bath & Beyond is now churning. It breaks VWAP, and you can see it just absolutely, not stair-step, but it broke out off VWAP there. I got one fill at 40s. I'm trying to catch another one around 50 here. As a matter of fact, I should just get in front of 50 and then see if we can't hang on to those highs. But that's going up. And this is going up too. Pinduoduo up 20% now and challenging 69 even. I did not hold on to the 67.50 break, barely made anything on that because we stopped the rest out break even. Now working the short in front of 69 on that daily. This is a line in the sand for me, obviously. We break this and it's kaputs for PDD. And the other short that's going to work toward that top, I am looking for a reload on Peloton as well. It's testing the lower high. If it fails at 1085, start curling, I'm going to work back into this one at about 1080. But the market looking like it's about to break 12.6 on the NASDAQ, about to go. That's that big level. I got to look for some longs out there. And I talked about how strong Apple was holding these wicks, holding that
The
VWAP.
market's going to take out the top.
I mean, it's going to take out the top. It feels like I should just be buying, not even if it's just like almost like a hedge, if you buy Apple off VWAP, but taking out 163 looks pretty juicy as well. Super strong. Apple holding up on the bid. I'll get on the bid in front of VWAP because that feels like something I want to be buying on dips. If I'm reloading short to the top, I should at least be attempting to grab Apple off its higher low.
Yeah, we reshorted Tesla, which is now paying off. Now it's $1 in the money again, but yeah, I don't know. That name, I'm not sure, as it just continues to be pretty strong up here, trying to test that 288 again. So, you know, if you're going to short anything, that might be a good little area to wait for, but who knows, man? This is going to be a tough one. We finally lost on one of those shorts that we were trying to hold on to, and it was the Chinese name. But again, we're not giving back that much money on this. I just shorted JD because I thought Pinduoduo was going to fall.
God.
It didn't fall, so now we're out of it, and no problem actually on that one. What did rip up though was AMD again. So look at that. We just got a 20, and then 5 minutes later we shorted a 90. So let's see if that one wants to come back into the downside now. Hopefully it does. But if this market is right now at its day high. So you want to talk about, you know, being real strong today. I mean, I thought this market was going to be real weak, and we did cash out on some of those moves downside, but, you know, took us out, man. I mean, took up some of those stops to the upside there early. So now we're going to try to hold out to see if this makes any sense. I mean, is the NASDAQ going to go green today? You guys tell me. I don't really know why it would want to go green, other than it was just crushed so much on Friday that it could be some profit taking, but hopefully this can come back down. There it is, a nice little reload on AMD as that's starting to come back. Yes, sir, as that's starting to come back down again. So yeah, all is well over here all of a sudden again. Like, just so funny how volatile these markets are. Let's put a bid, well, we already talked about that. Let's put a bid here in the mid-50s for AMD and try to make some money back. Actually, this is my #1 name, but we'll try to make some money on that short. Anything you want to talk about before small cap retail?
Oh, I just reloaded Peloton at the same 1080 price I've been getting it. So look, it could take out 11 at some point, but until it takes out 11, resistance is resistance, and I'm shorting in front of it. It does set up for a breakout long at 11. I'm kind of convincing myself that I would take the breakout there. As we go to Brendan for the small cap recap. Oh, the nerve of that one.
Hey guys, yeah, we were talking about this NERV just before the open this morning. I was mentioning $9 support, which was this support from back on Friday. Pre-market support $9.50, and then $10.50 was resistance. So above that, you got to go all the way up to $11.50 and then $12 before you get into these areas from back on Friday. So try that once versus that $10.50 pre-market area. We're now up at $11.50, kind of chopping around, but just working that off of $11.50 back to the downside. That was a huge level back on Friday for NERV. I caught that initial breakdown in Bed Bath & Beyond through the pre-market support down to 1080. We bounced off this level though from Friday pretty convincingly, trying to get back to day highs here with some volume behind it as well for Bed Bath & Beyond. Guys, back to
which is Beyond, you say. Okay. I don't know. I'm still staring at my. I mean, you know, my net is like going up and down here, so it's pinging back and forth how this market goes, and I'm net short. So you know, as this sort of bleeds to the, or I guess not bleeds, bleeding would be the other way, but as it sort of accelerates, here it goes again to the upside. There has to be some stopping spots here. It's fine, man. I mean, our day is fine. It's just we're giving some back, which we don't want to do. AMD again, like this is what I mean. Like we're short here at 90.10. Like I'm in the money. But the move, now I'm not going to be in the money, but the move is just so huge back up to the upside here. I think we still got to wait for 91.50, some of those target areas that we talked about before we start to average it anymore. So let's just slow down a little bit, watch out for some of these trades. The reshorted Tesla, fine, but it only bounced. It's only given us $1 in the money on that reshort. So we'll wait to see if that comes through, but 284.50 could be a target out for us on that. There we go. Yeah, AMD back. I mean, I'll short a little bit more up here. Why not? As it's, oh, look, I put oh, there we go. Did I get that? No, there we go. There we go. We got some 15. So let's just cancel some of our orders and see what happens there. So there's the reshort for AMD. We're just shorting it again right here. I'm going to stop now, honestly. I got to give this up to like 91.50 again to see what it does near that top. Like, if it's going to blow up, it's going to blow up. But at the same time, look at AMD down 1.2% right now against a market that's basically flat. So this is probably the name to short until it turns itself around. I haven't even looked at NVIDIA, which is silly because hard to trade one without looking at the other, but it's not hard to take profits. We just shorted at 15 there. So let's get something out if it breaks back down below 90 and then just keep this game up, man. I can't predict this market right now.
That's sort of the thing. I think, look, I always say this at 10 o'clock, it's 10:20, but it's the same kind of thing. Like, once the opening range settles down or we get that opening rush settling down, if you have levels that are still valid, then just stick to the plan. So I'm going back to the well on Peloton over and over again, but you can see, like, if the market breaks out from here and it takes out 11, there's room for this to run. Like, this name got absolutely trashed, but even if it breaks 11, it gets to 11.25, you get like a 20-cent move there, and then there's a monstrous gap to 12 even. Like, that's a pretty sizable gap, and I don't want to be caught too badly off the lows. The firm finally got back to 24, but I haven't had a big cap long yet. Oops, that's Tesla. I wanted to go to Apple. I haven't had a big cap long yet, and Apple is testing back into 162 in VWAP. So we'll get away from the 15-minute. It's been relatively strong all morning long, but there was just an absolute wall at 161.60. So as this comes back in, I want the long at 162, in front of 162.50, 161.50 on Apple. No, it's not green on the day. It's actually down more than the overall market. But all that buying on that last little dip has me convinced that that could be a good support level if there's going to be a big tech name we can take. I showed you guys what happened in Pinduoduo. So it'll be frustrating because I like the 65 long. I didn't get it at the open because I was kind of going short everywhere. Then I took the breakout and did not hold on to it. It took out 69, stopped right at 70 even, and is now going sideways. It looks like Pinduoduo wants a 70 break. And as I live and breathe, Alibaba is like, Pinduoduo wants to take out that 70. I understand they have the good earnings, but Baba just rejected 100 in a big way. And everything is telling me, hey, look at that breakdown in Alibaba, use that as your futures, and short PDD at 70 even. However, Pinduoduo is almost too strong to make that same correlation. I flip over to something like a NEO, there's some weakness. I mean, NEO about to break through up, a set of lower highs. This is something where the market falls back in, it's got that 20 level to that downside. I need to stop thinking about Pinduoduo and start looking at some of the other Chinese names, maybe even Baba itself as a short in front of 100. PDD is too strong right now.
Yeah, oh man, look at this market. It was just going back down and then it stopped. So the market was real close there to breaking back down below here. And then it just bounced again to the upside. So there's buyers here. Like, it's barcoding now, but it keeps pushing these top sides. I thought it was just going to give it up there, but it didn't. It was just starting to go, and then I thought, what's going to happen here? But no. So all right, no break on that one. Look what happened to JD, man. We didn't give this one enough. So if this breaks back, if this comes back anywhere near to this upside again for JD, then yeah, we want to be there for that name. So let's watch out for JD right now, 64.25 or so coming through. Just to check back in on Tesla, I said I'd get something out if it comes back down into 85 or 84. Sorry, I am bidding down here. Like, I'm bidding 84 flat. I guess that would be okay if it came in and we were able to take something out there. There it goes. Now it's just ticking upside. So, okay, now we're starting to have a party a little bit. Amazon, big break for that one. So that just broke again. Wow, that went to, did that just actually happen again? Like, what is going on? Is that a real tick? Did that just go down there? Yes, it did. That went to 130. I went to 130.50 there. Yeah, so that was real. I was not sitting there. So, that sucks. We'll put some bids out there now because all of a sudden my net just went bang, and I was like, what happened? I was looking at JD there, but it was Amazon that went all the way down to 130.50, 130.60 there. We got to put some bids out. If that happens again, we want to be sitting there to capture some of that profit. Like, someone marketed that down. That's my bad, man. I should have been there. Damn it.
Yeah, and there's one place I know I should be, and Meta, at the open, it held 160, obviously. You can sort of see that. It broke out 161. It's got some support there as well. I know I'm looking for the dip buy at 162 on Apple. They just happen to be exactly the same price right now, or close enough to the same price, where VWAP dip is exactly 162 as well on Meta. So I'll be looking for both of those. If we bounce off those levels, I'm already sitting on the bid in Apple. I actually want to see Meta hold that because 161 almost feels a little bit better. Oh, a firm just got to 24, so round trip, I just got out of it. I'll work back in if it gets up to 25. And someone said short JD instead.
I had that.
I know, like, it's when I was talking about Alibaba and NEO and Pinduoduo being too strong, it's back below 64, and it did wick top there. It just doesn't look necessarily as clean as an Alibaba. I could be wrong about this. It doesn't look as clean as Alibaba does. When Alibaba reclaimed 100 to the downside, it just started flushing. So this feels a little bit weaker off that 100 level on any pop, but I think I will go over and short Alibaba in front of 100 if I have to pick one of these. And of course, as I say that, well, like this is Pinduoduo off of 70. It's starting to roll over. It's so convincing to want to go and short that name. I'm going to stay away from that. One of the names I'm still in, Peloton. I'm right here on the bid in front of 65. I'm actually sitting at 66. This continues to be weak off of 11, so I feel like we can hold on to this. Bed Bath & Beyond, the long, now sort of consolidating. I got the 1150 bid. Now it's consolidating at VWAP. I think it's going to give a chance to start buying it away from that 11 and maybe buy in front of those quarters, which can show some signs of strength. And OLB, which I've been sitting in pretty much, I don't know, for the last like half an hour or so, got it at 2, it got up to about 220, and is now just going sideways. So yeah, it's been a win on OLB. It's just not giving you a shred of follow through at this point, which is a bit disappointing. My bids on Apple starting to come in. I'm about 20 cents away from catching our first buy in Apple.
Okay, I mean, we just got, I don't want to say lucky because it's not luck. Like, we're shorting these things on purpose here. So as AMD, there's another reload there. There's a reload, and then it's coming right back in. So we just took a bid there at 65 again off of 90 reloads, 90-20 reload as well, back to the upside there for AMD, and then it falls back down. The exact same truth happening on Amazon as that came up to 1. This was a little more dangerous. I'm not as convinced. I like that flush down on Amazon that we saw, and it's still holding these basements, but I don't know. Like that got really excited there, Amazon, on that move back upside. So I'm a little nervous that they're, and I'm talking myself into putting another bid out right now. We'll put a bid in the 70s again, see if we get that fill. There it comes. Oh, maybe there it is. Good. So there's another fill there in the 70s as that comes back down. Look, right now we're getting greedy, man. We're now $2 in the money on a reload for Tesla. So that just touched 284. That should be an out if we wanted it. But nah, we're going to wait a little lower than that. Let's get some 283s going now for Tesla. How about 283.50 right now? As we're back to the highest spot we've been at all day after our account turned red again, but not anymore. So here comes Tesla. I'm going to put a bid 283.50 and go over to Brendan at the big screen as it's Crypto Watch, I think, right now. Let's go talk some crypto.
Nice rally underway, guys, so far for cryptocurrencies as we saw in the pre-market. Both Ethereum and Bitcoin on the right side there, back to the upside, even as we touched summer lows over the weekend, all the way down here to 19,500 late on Saturday. We're back to 20,500 right now. Now positive for both, 1520, 1550 in play here for Ethereum. But yeah, it was all about Fed Chair Powell on Friday talking down not only equity markets, but also these as well. I noticed some strength at the bottom end of this board as well. Solana, Dogecoin, and Polkadot all up 1.75, 2.3, 1.1, 3% right now. So ETH and Bitcoin at the top, 3.8%, 2.4 leading the way right now, guys. Back to you.
Sorry, I just finally got into Apple. Just fixing. I accidentally somehow managed to minimize everything in the morning, and Sean thankfully managed to cover for me a little bit there, but a couple of things were still minimized. I am now long Apple, so that's the first time today, and we'll see about Meta in a quick little bit, but it just dipped down into 162 here in front of VWAP. There's just a buyer that was sort of holding it up at 160, 160. I'm going to throw a stop at 50s, maybe add to it if it gets down into that 70 range, 160, 170 that is. But yeah, I mean, Peloton, I was about to get filled shy of VWAP, and then you sort of see it bouncing right back to the upside. So, I mean, at some point, like I'm looking to add to a couple of longs and find some places into the long side. But even something that's been good off the short is putting in some higher lows, and I can't ignore what's going on over in that name. I'll get to a firm in a second, but I wanted to come back over to at least one of these names that I haven't even looked at. And I understand, a lot of times we'll try to cover as many names as we can, and I'm in a couple of small caps which have been okay but are not really moving. Nerve is moving. NERV, I know Brendan already talked about this, but it's one I like, and I should have this. I was long in the afternoon on Nerve. This is what we played at 4 into the close, and then of course aftermarket right at the end of the day went up to 1166, and then you had that double top with the morning high, and then it just made a little bit of a breakout. So nerve, not that excusable to have missed that break because we were trading it in the afternoon. I want to see if it can sustain this move through 12 even, but even if it fails 12 even, I'd look back to 1050 for potential dip buy. Super strong, one of the strongest names I can find in the market. I want to get involved if it gives me an entry point back down around that 1150 area for a dip buy.
It's Randy. He's in the building. What's up, Randy? What's up? Okay, so we are short Randy, unfortunately Tesla right now, but it's not unfortunate because your boy right now is saying WTFS down. Yes, sir. What a big move here for Tesla. Down comes. Oh yeah, what's up? Get a haircut? No. Yes.
Yeah, I got a haircut.
Did not.
You
not
didn't
the
go
Mr.
cute.
Clean look.
Why didn't you go cue
Thanks,
ball,
buddy.
though?
Yeah, look where we're short here. Short 287, short 286 right there, and starting to go down. I'm debating getting some out right now. 283.51, Randy. You're gonna see it right here live. Watch out, Randy. Watch out because it's coming out. Bang right there as we wind up taking $3 there on that Tesla move right down there to the downside. So far so good as we are on one right now. Our highest spot all day easily right now. Look at that reload on AMD as AMD cranks to the bottom right now. Okay, thank you. Come again. Look at Amazon. We did bring this pain one more time back in. So yeah, we're on one there. Thanks, Randy, for that. Maybe I'll go up and get a coffee. It's only 10:34 though. This is a big time movement to the downside. All these shorts starting to pay off. Tesla with the banger again. Now we don't have to get out of anything. Let's see how far this one can go.
Yeah, obviously gonna have to hold on some shorts. I mean, Apple just broke down. So we got in 62s. I'll take it out 160, 150. Look to pick up another kind of long in a big cap, which I hadn't done just yet. So Apple's now broken. And with Apple through that support, if it holds it, it just feels like a hold on to your short situation here. So I got Tesla. I'm going to keep on adding to Peloton over and over again. It feels like it does want to pop. And then I didn't get into Alibaba, but that just broke 99. So I'm going to forget about 100 for now and start working off this 99 area that looks like can be a resistance. It feels like it's a weaker Chinese name. Even coming back into play for me with that breakdown in the market is going to be Pinduoduo, because guess what? It never actually broke 70 even. So for the last half an hour, PDD has had $70.00 as its high of the day, and every time it's tried to break, it's put in a bit of a rejection there. As strong as it is, with some of the bigger names starting to fail here, and now a double top on the NASDAQ, a double set of wick tops on the NASDAQ through that 12.6, I mean, you reject resistance in this kind of a market over and over again, and then all of a sudden, I think the risk is that the longs can be trapped at these tops. I want BABA 99s, I want BABA 100s, but I'll take a third shot here. Well, technically it's a second shot on Pinduoduo because I shorted the same level the first time. But that 70 level, it looks like a hard top. And you can't ignore the fact it's resistance on the daily as well. This isn't out of thin air for PDD, but I understand it's up 20%. In this market, that feels like much. Half an hour at 70, even if it breaks, it breaks.
All right, welcome guys. I mean, when it works out, you have to sort of celebrate like that, and I'm just so happy right now that this market is pulled back down, and really the reads that we've been having today, like if you guys are on PDT, I think Pinduoduo, and you're unable to take too many trades. I mean, some of these levels that we've given today, 132 on Amazon, you could have put that on once, and now you're banking, you could have reloaded it again. This AMD trade that we talked about, putting it on the same way, man, 91 up to 92. I mean, these were all, everything's right here. Follow me at Trader TV Sean. Like I tweeted out today, what shorts do we want in this market, right? And I mean, we've basically been hitting everything that we've talked about, including look at where Tesla is right now. As our net is like accelerating right now pretty nicely, like it's not, this is probably a better day than we had last, I think it must have been Thursday when we had that monster day, but today we're really reading the levels again. So it's like the tea leaves, man, they're here. The short has come in. There goes Amazon cranking lower. I mean, look at some of these reloads up here. Tried to be as patient as we could. Let this thing go back up. Just 3 in there, bang it to the downside, and you go right back to day's low. We are at the day's low now for the NASDAQ, I mean, on the open session. Right when we opened up, we started down here at 12.5. We're back down to 12.5 right now. So we traveled up 100 points on the NASDAQ, fell 100 points, and now I'm just kind of with Neil. I'm with all of you, hopefully, on this one. just thinking that maybe some of these longs got trapped a little bit. So, you know, we shorted the crap out of Tesla up there. You guys saw that. Palantir really not dropping, but hey, you know what, man? Let's take some more bids out. Shout out to Henry out there. Not because Palantir is going down. Obviously, we don't want to shout that move out, but you can see sometimes you got to take some deep prints here on Palantir. There's a lot of dark pools going off, so we'll do that right there. And then watch this name. There it goes, now breaking down through 80. So that fill came in. There's the Palantir short today. We got that real early, and then now look at this coming back in. So if you want to trade a $10, I wish, an $8 name, there it is. And then there goes Tesla, man, right back to the lows. I'm fine getting this out, but there's the move back down in. JD, Neil, we did short that, and that went all the way down to 40. Oh man, I missed that one.
So it's just crazy wick off top just happened in Pinduoduo there. PDD went through, I'm on Alibaba because I want to see if it would make a bit of a rip, but PDD just ripped 70 even, slammed back down to 69.70, then slammed back up to 70.20, and then slammed back down through the low. So it's putting on a bit of a show here. Wick off top and now breaking out. That 70 break, Pinduoduo was gone. This is the only stock that's along in this market right now. It's PDD. I'm going to stop shorting it. It doesn't want to go. I'm going back over to because Bed Bath & Beyond, well, sorry, not Bed Bath & Beyond, Alibaba is the only one that looks relatively weak. This stock is now absolutely gonzo PDD. And I'm just going to be kicking myself because I said 65 break, and then once it got to resistance, I've been only shorting it. This is what you get in BABA. No bounce, no nothing, maintaining the downward trend. I'll work 99s and 100s like I said I would, and forget about the shorts on Pinduoduo. That thing is way too parabolic at this point. The strongest name in the entire market. Continue to put step on the neck of the stocks that are weak. A lot of times you can look at those setups, and it looked so good at 70 even. All kinds of resistance. Now it wants to hold up there. I'll go over to something like an Alibaba or a Neo, which are making some sense to that sell side still. Peloton still working, but wow, Pinduoduo is stupid strong.
So good question there. Yeah, and I had JD and I was in the money 50 cents, but I didn't have enough shares, so my net wasn't reflected of that because everything was tanking. So definite missed opportunity there on JD. Look at this short, man. We were short 91. It went right down. This is where I was bidding initially, but then I got stopped out. So we'll put a bid back here on JD near 50 to get something out, and then hopefully it continues its move down. I agree with Neil though. Watch out for names that aren't strong. Are going against the market. Look at this, man. We've talked about relative strength versus relative weakness all the time on this show. Thank you, AMD. Thank you, Amazon. Wow, this has been like a dream day trading, honestly. I'm so glad that we've turned our opinion over to this little guy here as Benny the Bear or Buster the Bear. Maybe Buster, I like it because you're busting levels. As that one continues to make a move to the downside. You asked about where am I out on Palantir, how much do I have left? I have 25% left of Palantir, less, 20% left. The reason why is right here. This is the reason why. These are most of my outs right here, 84, 85. You could see that there was some outs. We were nervous early because it wasn't making that move, but we should have maybe respected that a little bit more and held out for those bottoms. So not the best. Look, I'm proud of all the trades today. I think we've really hit them for you. But Palantir, I could have taken a little bit more profit. So good call out on that one. And so about 20% left. It's just not as weak as the rest. I mean, that's the reason why. I mean, Amazon bounced back there a little bit, breaking now back above. So we're going to put an order right there, 129.80. I was waiting at 120. Actually, I am waiting at 129.80. What the heck? So that missed me by 3 cents. Let's see if it comes again. I'm actually going to cancel it. All right, I guess it's Brendan time. Did you want to talk about Tesla?
I just got out of Tesla. I mean, I thought it could go to 280. I still like 280 for a breakdown, but 282, I'm now out of it. I didn't take it last time. I'll reload if it pops up, but I'm going to start working like Alibaba, want to work into some Neo as well. There is, I haven't really talked much about it, but we're going to go to Brendan for Sector Watch. And one thing stands out outside of Pinduoduo for green in the market today. You're going to see that. Let's go to the big screen.
Yeah, really the only thing standing out as green so far today, guys, it's energy, all about energy with that huge reversal. Remember, oil is negative in the pre-market. Now we're up 3+%. So a nice day here for all of the producers. FANG, MRO, Oxy, XOM, all 3.5 or more to the upside. That's Netflix, 2.5%, as I was saying. apparently they like that $7 to $9 pricing that came out this morning for the ad-supported version. WBD-match.com still higher on the day. Just noticing GIS, General Mills, having a nice day as well, up about 2%. I was mentioning earlier, some of the ARC names popping up back to the upside. I mean, not necessarily an ARC name, but PayPal up 0.8% still, when the rest of the market, pretty red. CTLT was an earnings name. Bristol Myers here, 6% on that note mentioned earlier. Stroke treatment trial failing for them. Financials are weak. Industrials are weak. Tech stocks are weak. In fact, leading to the downside, there's Etsy back to the upside, 1.6 on a positive note for Etsy today. But that's about the extent of it. Far corner over here, material stocks. FCX leading to the downside for material stocks. But outside of this one, energy stocks, some of the communications names, pretty weak starts to the week. I'll stop saying weak now. Here's Neil.
Yes, sir. And I see you in the chat there, Kai. Once he heard me saying, he's like, once I heard you talking about Pinduoduo, you went for the long. I know, for me, I like the 65, and then it broke really early in the pre-market, so I never got it. Actually, I'm on Alibaba right now, but I'll go to PDD. I like that 65. It broke too early for me to be able to catch it. And then at the open, I don't get this breakout. And once it happened, I'm like, okay, he still has a double top, let's put that in. But I never believed in that long, so I'm not really holding on to it as it went. And then once he got that level on the daily, I'm just trying to short it. I'm trying to short it. I'm stopping out when it breaks the high. I'm stopping out when it breaks the high. But I could also just not trade the bloody thing, right? Like, you go over to something which showed me relatively weakness. And before that last short in Pinduoduo, I said, oh, I should just work Bob off 99 or 100. Like, in a Bob off 99, it's like instantly works because it's relatively weak. And I understand, like, sometimes you look at a level, you're like, oh, that's a good resistance level, let's go trade it. But you also like to have the momentum going with you at times. It's just a lot easier to be with a bit of a trend than try to fight it. That's why I'm going to go back over to Peloton here, like, on the bid, not even getting any fills there. Go back over to Peloton in the 50s here. That's going right back and giving you the same pattern. Short in the 80s off 11. Get some out in the 60s, get some out in the 50s. If that continues to churn, I'm still in Bed Bath & Beyond. It's not really, it just bounced off VWAP for the first time like a couple seconds ago. So it looks like this may be giving an opportunity to buy this off VWAP. And holding off because I wanted to see it actually, give a better consolidation. This to challenge the high, rejected. Let's see if it can hold VWAP now. This could be a nice little re-entry for Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not trying to ignore it, but I worked off $11. Now let's see if we can get these 11.30s to start going back into the upside. I know at one point AMC was making a move. It's pullback as well off VWAP. I just prefer Bed Bath & Beyond. The gap up, it's up like 8%, 7%. AMC's flat on the session. Maybe the same chart, but I feel like Bed Bath & Beyond should be a little stronger today.
All right, missed that. Went and reloaded the coffee there. Saw the desk. The desk looking pretty nice there, Brendo. I know you've seen that as well, obviously. PDD went up again?
No, I'm saying, did they paint it yet?
Oh, no. They painted the inside. So, yeah, that's getting painted up. So that's going to be a good one there. Good. I complained about our desk. I want different desks now. So we got ours first. So, yeah, you get the nice shiny
still clean,
thing.
Randy.
The nice shiny thing.
Still clean.
Yeah. I don't know if he's watching.
Oh,
I'm working on the desk right now with Lucas.
There's like a nail sticking up. It's a
nails sticking up. Yeah, watch
out
for that one. Okay, just want to make sure my mic is on. All right, let's go. So we did average in 2 JD up there. We just got this fill right now. It just popped in, which is why I'm talking about it. I'm not watching PDD, but I was just talking to Greg there, and he's like, "Oh man, he's been fighting this all day," and I don't blame anybody to fight this one. I mean, I am surprised at the move that this one had today. I mean, I saw the report, I get it, but some of these names, man, just like when we talked about, remember, was it Li Auto or one of them anyways, that was way, way off, man. Like it was way up there and it's just fallen. Yeah, I think it was Li Auto, must have been, or it was Xpeng. It was one of them that just seemed to be like just going this nonstop, and this makes me think it was Li Auto up to that 41, 42, and then bounced around here, and then absolutely gave everything back down to 30. So no matter what you guys think about some of these names with PDD and stuff like that, I'm gonna quickly look at XPEV as my net right now is
Li Auto.
Day high rate. It is Li Auto, eh? Okay, so I just feel like some of these names, they really get going in China. We've seen, but this one's too, though. I mean, look at this move. Holy crap. No matter what, like up to 36, right back to $18, right? I didn't even know, Neil, that this was this look at this chart. Holy crap! This one either is a great buy down here or not. And I don't know what to say. I don't want to buy any Chinese names, but you know, when these names decide to pick a direction, they go in that direction. So that's what I'm saying about PDD. I think, honestly, I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to do a little more research. I got to talk to Danielle because I want to short the living crap out of this, and I'm going to do it in the options because this $70 is a little too expensive. But wow, what a big mover PDD is today. I think this is a huge short, especially, I mean, if we go any higher, man, like 90, 95, like we're not there yet. That takes a big move, but like this name should. Wow, and the thing is, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't want everyone to get too excited. That's why I said we have to look into this because that move into the U.S., obviously, you know, the #1 economy in the world, could make huge strides for PDD. So I don't even know anything about their business model, but to me, it looks like it's a screaming short, and I'm not even short this name. I'm not in it. I'll just leave it at that, as this is just Neil. Are you long? This is $72.
I should have taken. Look, I didn't reverse at 70.
Holy.
Should have been a reverse at 70, but like that's sort of like, you know, you can look back in hindsight 2020. 72 and a half to 76. It's like if it breaks that, then you really start thinking about air up above. Like it breaks this level, you're talking $80 past that 72 and a half level. So if you're still in the short, if it sustains above 72 and a half, there's a monstrous gap to be filled. I just think the easier thing to do is if you favoring the shorts and you think there can be some weakness, just look, like I said, look at Alibaba. It rejected 100 this morning. It's continuing to reject that. You already talked about JD. You talked about XPeng and Li Auto. Look at NIO trending to the downside since making that pop. Like, I can't find another one of these names outside of Pinduoduo that's strong. So I would stay away from it on the short side. And, like, it's almost like a hedge to be long that bad boy, if anything else. That nerve, by the way, oh, baby, that thing is, forget about the dip buy. It doesn't seem to want to come back in. It's just churning into that upside. But it just put a wick top through 13 even, so it might have just failed that 13. So at this point, this could be that pullback that I was looking for, where wick top, fail break through an even dollar number, and then you get a bit of a dip buy, either 12 or VWAP. Maybe it can settle down at lunchtime and get going again in the afternoon. And we're going to the big screen for Money Talks. Haven't talked about that USD at all today. Ooh.
Yeah, took out the highs, guys. We were mentioning in the pre-market how strong this was. Going into the new week here, we took out that high from way back in July when last we were up here above 109, all off of what happened on Friday with the Fed speech. So the 2-year, the 10-year, both higher on the day as well. The dollar is actually coming off. That's a daily chart, but we are actually lower. You can see now. It did take it out and then come right back down. 108.7. So the euro back to, wait for it, we might almost get there. Parity, essentially, 99.9 here for the euro right now, up about 0.3. 0.17 here for the Canadian dollar, 76 now versus the USD for the CAD. British pound is downside as well, 117. We got above 118 and held that for most of last week. So pretty choppy start here. We mentioned Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're still kind of chopping around in negative territory on the day, but so much strength going into the weekend, guys, for the USD. Off of those comments from our friend Mr. Powell. Back over to you.
Be our friend, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's doing what he has to do, right? It's
130 now.
It ain't what you
dollar. Wow, that's good, man. I'm glad we're making money here on the U.S. side of things as we
CAD,
get paid on the U.S. dollar move here. So a nice little move to the downside as our net, my net is, you know, at its high right now. We're really pleased with so far trading. $4 now in the money on Tesla, and it's just barcoding here, but hey, barcode all you want because we're already short from the high here. So let's see what happens. There's the cover at 283 right before this. You know, like if I did not cover, I could cover more. I just think it's going to break. So, you know, looking at this, but if I didn't have that cover right now, just to take some profit, I mean, Neil was saying it, we all say this, and I think even Brendan just said it right there, like you got to pay yourself. Like when this US dollar is starting to move, when these Tesla, all these names are starting to move down, you know, like at some point the move does stop. I just don't know today. Like the market's down 1%. We almost got positive there on the day, or maybe we did actually. I'll have to go back and look. I know we came pretty close. And then now we're retesting some of those pre-market lows. So I feel like I held myself, like all these positions against myself a little bit here. Not on Tesla. We banged this one out perfect tops. But the other ones, so now it's kind of like, okay, just for example, in Amazon, like we got a bunch of shorts here, and now I always just wish that we held the whole thing to the bottom, but here comes the collapse. There's some levels breaking, and wow, we are now at 3 times our goal. The bubble popping here on these longs. Maybe we just don't get out anymore. Like, I have a 129 flat bid right now for Amazon. So just to let you know where I'm thinking this name's possibly going. JD on the reload. This looks okay. I do have a bid at 80 just in case this wants to come down. But if PDD never slows down, and again, it looks like maybe now, maybe 72 was the top there, but you know, this is really going to hold the cards. You're not in a Chinese name, but
Baba. Sure.
Okay, you're good. So good. So that's what I'm saying. So I think
anything but PDD.
Yeah, this holds the cards for these Chinese shorts. So if this gives it up, man, then I think Neil and I are going to print on JD and on market and on Alibaba right now, as we are just in a pretty decent mood here today.
I found a new short that I like. Well, it's not new because we liked this one last week. Pinterest. I mean, Pinterest failed 24.
All right.
Well, it failed 25 on Thursday. It failed 24 on Friday. It closed at 23. You can probably see where I'm getting at here. It just put a little bit of a wick top through 23 even. So as the market rolls over, anything you sort of go back to levels that you liked before. I like this 23. It was nowhere close to it at the open. Now you've got a fail break. I'm going to short Pinterest up to that pre-market, or sorry, not pre-market high, up toward this high, 23.30. I'll work the short up to that price. Try to get into it in front of this 23 even. And VWAP, we get to go to Brendan because guess what? We didn't have much. Well, Pinduoduo was the earnings, and look how much that moved. There's a couple of names this week that'll be pretty big. One of which, after PDD, I suppose I'll be paying a little bit more attention to on that board, Brendan.
Yeah, I was noticing some of the Chinese education companies moving around here today as well, guys. Here's this FUTU coming tomorrow morning. Baidu on here as well.
Yeah, Baidu, Futu. Look, after the moves we've seen in Pinduoduo, don't write anything off if they have strong reports. A couple of Canadian banks have yet to come.
Okay.
We get one of them. Not that you guys care too much about that. Nothing really over aftermarket tonight. Maybe not anything that's going to spark our interest. But in the morning, yeah, we get Baidu, Best Buy, Futu. Those are all names I'll be looking for movement. I'm not making a prediction. Like, I don't think either one of those two is going to be screaming buys like Pinduoduo was. But if they do gap up and show strength, and we've seen what happens when they get going, and look, that works in either direction, right? Like we saw what happened to Alibaba on Friday, or any of those made breakouts. And part of the reason why, and admittedly so, like while I was sitting there looking at just only shorting Pinduoduo, it's because you know when it falls. Like look at Baba on Friday. Like when it's so strong, when it makes that top, it's just like it took half the amount of time for Baba to basically retrace half that move. Like the breakout at 101 to 107 on Baba, like that essentially took an hour. It came back in a half an hour. So it was just screaming to the downside when it went. This one's going to start to work to the downside. But the mistake for me wasn't, I should have just jumped to this early. I said jump to it at 100. I didn't jump to it until it got to 99 even because I was looking at Pinduoduo. Just allow the relative weakness to play in and then work to those things. Like Peloton, this has been no trouble because it couldn't take out that high. Now it's working toward the low. Now I want to make sure I'm reloading. I might start reloading this thing below VWAP if it wants to test these lows. And guess what? It could break 10. I'd like the 10 break on Peloton too. We're halfway there.
All right, everyone's favorite animation, I think. Money. We're going to watch this one go because right here, guys, so far today, it's been a really, really great short. So we're just going to cover some Palantir right there. Check out Amazon all day shorting. Now we're down to here. Nicely done here, $1.85 in the money, and we would be way more. That's 132, but this is on our reload back down into the downside. We're just covering some of these names. There goes AMD. We talked about shorting. This one's still in it as that's taking out the bottoms. All these purple ticks are shorts. JD, we held out for that. Look at JD. I missed this one. This one is really going down to the downside now as we talked about, you know, the NASDAQ and this one getting into some plays. Let's take a piece out right there. Yes, it is. There it is on JD, so we'll go bang on that one. Where's my bang button? There it is right there. JD, look at this move to the downside as that's crashing in. And then we just tweeted this out on Tesla. Tesla short, out some there at 283.50. Now we test this downside range, so maybe get some out, but we're $4 in the money. I think we can break below this 280 today. Let's see if that comes through. The NASDAQ now back near bottoms. What a great day. We did talk about AMD. AMD, the one that's sick. These are all on our sticky note here today that we send out at 8 o'clock. So hopefully you're able to see that as boom, we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. Great to short today. JD really printing. JD now, we just put this on, and this is $1 in the money, making new lows right there. Palantir continues to go. Amazon and AMD, everything bleeding down, as this is what's so fun about the casino being open. You never know. But today we did favor shorts, man. Everything on the sticky note to the short side.
Yeah, there's some small caps that I like to the long side, but there was one big cap name I like long, and unfortunately, it's the one I didn't get, and it's Pinduoduo. I got another leg out in front of 98 on Alibaba. Just want to make sure we're paying ourselves. But if we get any kind of a pop, it's a short the pop situation. This is what you're going to see. I'm just going to quickly show you my black chart because I want to quickly show you on the lows on the ES. What I just said, looking to short some pops. I'm anticipating we can catch maybe a bounce off these lows on the S&P 500. If that happens, then that'll give you a chance to reload some of the shorts. Potentially could be at lower highs. Like for me, I'll be right back at 99 on Alibaba. I don't think I'm waiting for the top over there anymore on Peloton. I'll probably look to this 1070 area for the reloads as we short some lower highs. And Tesla, by the way, Tesla's hanging on to this 282. It looks like, I mean, this is now the third time. I got it last time at 282. This is the third time open, then at 10 o'clock, and now here toward the end of our show at 11. It's holding on to this 282 level. So there might be at least a chance that the ES, because of Tesla, is hanging on to the S&P 500, and because of Tesla, is hanging on to support. 282 has been a bit of a buy zone for Tesla. The reload on not Alibaba, on Bed Bath & Beyond, that's the only long that I'm still sitting in, has broken VWAP and looks like it wants to hold, or at least test back down to that 11 area. That's where the bulk of the profit has come. It's been going long off $11 on the Bed Bath & Beyond, but even that's starting to give up. And last one, Nerve.
The nerve of that.
I know, it did fail that 13 break a couple of times, but it's holding nicely, this consolidation. I tend to think it's about due for a healthy dip. That's what I'm looking for, a healthy dip into VWAP for any RV. I don't want to chase it to this top when the market is under threat of breaking the low of the day.
All right. Yeah, thanks for watching again today, man. It's going to be Sharif. It's going to be Trader Prad on there. I'm sure there'll be some talk about that barbecue. Was a lot of fun. Thanks, Prad, for hosting that one. That was a good one. Yeah, good times, good friends. And then you're about to see them both come through again. So shout out to that. And of course, Sharif had to be, guns a-blazing there again on that day. So I was like wondering if the cops are going to come out and say you weren't allowed to, holster those. But we're going to have some fun here. We just got another piece out on Amazon as that just bleeding. No more outs for me, man. I'm going to go for my walk now, call the wife, settle that down, see what's going on over there as... I think she's got, my kids have back-to-back. They have 2 hours of coding class today. So we're going to figure out when that is. I think it's in the afternoon. That should be a lot of fun. And yeah, what a great weekend. What a great day to trade here as we come back. So this is really great, man. Hopefully you guys aren't too red today, and hopefully you are very, very green. It was a pretty tough trade day today off the open because it gave you that. Remember I said, like, who's going to win, man? And it's just, I banked on the shorts winning, and they did. And, we were able to cash out a lot there. Getting out there would have been a good move. But they're all ready to go here. Neil, anything you want to say before we throw it back?
Not a whole lot. I mean, the pullback in Nerd is happening now. So I think it is working back to that 12 even. That's a strong one out of the small caps. It seems like it's the big, it's a hot chick today. I think that's what the term people use online. But it's pulling back in. $12 I do like for support. Bed Bath & Beyond starting to give it up, but I like the 11. I also like Prad's golf shirt. That looks pretty slick there. I feel like I know where that came from. I feel like we got it from one of our vendors there. But anyways,
CSE.
That's what it was. It was a
shirt.
CSE. Yeah, I think a couple of people have the nice golf shirt. Let's get right over to the gun show and Trader Pratt.
Rolling. It is a brand new week, brand new opportunities to hunt for and to have fun with. I'm your host, Trader Pratt, and this is the wonderful Sharif.
What's up, guys? Great to be here. Another exciting day on the market. Nerve doing its thing. PDD doing its thing. The future is doing their thing. Like, what more can you ask for? This is what we're here for. We're here for the excitement. We're here for the movement. No volatility equals no day trading. So we need volatility. What have you been doing? MGB.
Yeah, so I had a couple trades on board today. Not really having the best possible day I could have, to be honest. I started off my day negative on the futures and then made some of that back with using equities. But right now, little bit of stuck in a position. That's Morgan Stanley. I'm stuck in Morgan Stanley. Looks like it's gonna most likely end up being a bad trade for me over here, and steal some of that money that I have made on the equity side. So I'm just having to manage this Morgan Stanley position at the moment. But let's run through a couple of my good trades that I had. I had a trade on MongoDB, which got stopped out. I wish I got back in at a different price, a better price on MongoDB, which is now at $330. So that move over there on MDB was a good short to capitalize on today. I know you guys heard Sean talking about AMD a lot. I actually got burnt on AMD trying to take the shorts over here. Just didn't I wasn't able to give it that room that I wanted to with the size that I had. So just had to manage this trade a little bit more and got paid the price for this one. But my winning trades on board today are where we're CF on NY, CF on NY pushing down about $1 or so, capitalizing on that move, and a bunch of other trades such as even the SPY and QQQ shorts. So here are the SPY shorts. Got out a little too early on SPY. Could have held that for a little bit longer. Same thing with the QQQ shorts. Could have held these but a little bit longer. But hey, the day's not over yet. We're not. We got lots of room left over here to play around with. So let's see if we can turn this day, the sour day that I've been having a little bit, to possibly, a good note.
Guys, we were initially looking for the short on PDD. So initially when it popped up, I woke up 6:30 in the morning to play the earnings trade today on PDD. It was a nice little move off that 58, I think it was 58, into the mid 60s. I said to myself, and I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't have a bias, but I was biased today. I said, okay, it's going to be a strong move off the earnings. 9:30 bell is going to ring, and it's going to tank. It's going to retrace maybe halfway, maybe fully back to that 58 level. Needless to say, I was obviously wrong about that, but continuing my short bias into the day, I tried to take 2 shorts. I didn't give it much room. Anytime it went against me, I got out. And then I finally switched to, it looks like it's currently holding that 70 level in and around 70, which it just happens to also be the 50 exponential moving average. I'm looking for a possible short if we can break this particular support level in and around here. You know, you could say between $69 to around $68.75 or so. But then again, this could go long again. So, you know, we're going to have to keep an open mind. I had a bias this morning. It didn't work out for me. Let's continue to watch this. It looks like it's made a peak at that 72 level. Just so that I speak, 69.50 got touched, 69.50 now in the 40s is getting touched. So it definitely looks like it's ready to pull back and retrace. How much? Not really sure. Wow, pushing into that 69 level now on PDD. So we may have to stop talking and start entering some orders in. I do like that 69 area, 68.75 as a possible support level, but we'll continue to watch that. The other trade that I had and that I continue to watch all day is Nerve. You guys remember Nerve from last Friday, actually all of last week. Basically, we were the second half of the week we've been on this one. Let's flip to our other screen here where we have the ES, and we'll switch this one to Nerve. The ES is also another one that I had to trade on today. They were really good, 2 really good shorts on the futures, but I find the futures to be a little bit rangy at the moment. Looking at that Nerve, looking to break high days. There it goes, touches $13.60. Broke out from the bottom of that, from the trough right here at that $12.58 area. So you've almost got an entire dollar on that move within a few minutes. Definitely keep an eye on this one. I think this one we're gonna have to actually pay for shorts for, so it may be a bit tougher to short for this one. But it's a funny story. A friend of mine, we went out for drinks on Friday afternoon, and we just couldn't stop trading. We pulled out our laptops and we started trading Nerve, which was awesome because you know, I was positive on it, I was negative on it, and I ended up being flat on it. There was enough liquidity in the aftermarket though Friday night for Nerve to make a move up to that $12 level. Funny enough, because it closed I think at 10 and change, but it just shows you the kind of addictions that we have over here. We love what we do. And sometimes when the market presents you opportunities, you really got to take them whether you're having drinks or not. So,
did you at least pay for your round using NERV then?
No, I broke even. So technically, I had to pay out of pocket, which is, you know, that's how it works. But I like to get those reps in. You guys know I love working out. So these are mental reps, and more screen time is better experience, and that's kind of how.
Hell yeah, man. You know, it's just the job we're in. We love it too much.
Yeah.
I don't like to use the word addiction because it has such a negative connotation behind it.
Yeah.
But it's just you love your job so much you can't help yourself do it more after hours. When you know, we love it. We love it. We enjoy being every second of up and down 0.9%, bleeding across the board. That Jackson Symposium. Is there a like? Oh man, my portfolio. Oh man, my portfolio. I'm like, bro, shut up. My portfolio's been bleeding since a year. Stop crying right now. Okay, my portfolio's been bleeding since January.
True,
I don't want to hear it.
It's true.
I don't want to hear it. But thankfully, man, we are in an opportunity where we can day trade and maybe cut down some of those losses. Here's Morgan Stanley pushing back down and saving my day. Please, Morgan Stanley, I'm gonna need you to go right back to the lower days and really put some damage upon yourself. If you levels, I'm short 126.50 first, capitalize on that move, get back in on those same levels, and now we're about to capitalize on pretty much the same move again. 26 cents in the money. Let's take some profits out here while we still have some size left on this position. 3M has been one of my best trades of the day so far. CF.NY, I talked about this too. I wish I had more size on this trade, honestly. Back when I entered this trade, the stock wasn't really moving. There looked like there was not enough liquidity on it, but I was absolutely wrong. When I further on later take a look at it, the relative volume was above 2. Right now, slightly coming back below 2. It's at 1.9 for me today. And AMD, man, I wish I traded AMD so much better. Let's head over to Pinduoduo because we know the catalyst for PDD is that they want to get over into the North American side of business. And if they do, honestly, I think we might see more regulators coming in and trying to cause issues with Chinese stocks, because I don't know if they want a Chinese e-commerce company coming into America and disrupting their space, right? So that's just my 10-hat conversation for the day a little bit. I don't think we're going to see Pinduoduo actually open up in America, but if it does, then we're going to have a lot more possible trades to the long side on Pinduoduo. Obviously, America being the #1 largest market in the world, we'll see these guys' economy boost up a little bit more.
Yeah, we were Wayne and I, the guy that sits behind me in the back, we were talking about PDD. We didn't really know exactly what they did, but they're a big-time e-commerce company. And here we go. We just got filled. Sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt and get back to this PDD conversation later. While Brad was talking, we got into a position on Nerve. We just scalped a little bit out. We got in at 80. We scalped up right at the 96 level. We took some out. That was a quarter of our shares. So we're looking for that 14 break going into the slower time of the day, but definitely Nerve doesn't feel that way. There we go. We break 14. Can we hold above 14? We'll take another quarter out right there. So very profitable trade from out of our positions. And we complain a lot that it's not quick enough or we don't get fills on it. So we harp on each other for using the flat key. I just used it right here for a quick little out. Yeah, but for the first one, I actually used a Lichtman share, and then we're gonna put it at 14.19. That's what we want. We want that 14.19. 1 cent below that 20 level, 25, 13, 35, somewhere in and around that area. So if we're still holding at the time, we may average down into that area for move back up, but we'll continue to watch that one. PDD, I got into a short also at that 69 level on PDD. This one I'm just going to hold on to because, I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a slower mover to the way down. I'm short at 69.03, so 5 cents. Out of the money currently, and I may average in at $70 with a tight stop. I'll give it to 70.25. So I took a small size on PDD because I have been burned on the short, like I said earlier in the day on that one. So we'll continue to watch that. And moving back to Nerve, still floating at that $14 level. We need some more buying to come in to get to that 14.20 level, which is where we have our next profit taker price.